and whoever has whichever the fastest takedowns within those five guys is going to get that 10K bonus at the end of the meet no matter what. But each team who's qualified for this national duels is getting a paycheck, so it's pretty cool.
What about you, Steve?
I think I'm just itching to compete in general. Really, we've been wrestling or training this whole preseason and just wrestling each other. So just getting to go compete is exciting for me. Yeah.
You guys have a new assistant coach. What can you tell us about? It's Kai Oreen?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what can you tell us about Kai and maybe a little bit about his background and how you guys have been connecting?
Kai is a really awesome wrestler. I mean, he was literally competing last year, so I always grew up watching a lot of his matches, and he just kind of has a little bit of craziness to him, especially when he competes, and it was super cool. He's known for kind of sticking his tongue out after getting big wins in matches, and I always thought, man, that guy's crazy, and now he's my coach, so it's pretty cool. But he's too as a coach, and he's showing some great stuff, and I think he's really elevating our wrestling.
Oh yeah, just kind of going off Matt. He's very technical, and he's been implementing a lot of new stuff for us on like top and bottom especially, and it's been great. Yeah, I like him a lot.
And your season it goes from Sunday and wow, that's a long season. Is there a break in the season somewhere, or it just goes straight through?
No break.
No break.
Yeah. In our schedule, there's like maybe a 2-week period, but that's kind of because of Christmas.
Okay,
that's kind of it.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking. Maybe
like we
a
have
holiday break.
We have a tournament that ends December 22nd, and then our next one's January 3rd. So there's a little bit of gap just to go home, see your family for a few days, but then come back and start training again.
And where are you guys from again?
So I'm from Wisconsin.
And I'm from Kentucky.
What's the furthest you all have a teammate from? So like who's from the furthest away from Little Rock?
We have a guy from Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't even know how many hours.
Yeah, it's a long way away.
But yeah, we got people from all over, and it's pretty cool because it kind of brings all these different cultures to the team. But we got also just a great team chemistry right now, and it's been really fun just this preseason train with everybody.
So for those who have not been to a wrestling meet before, or one of y'all's meets specifically, what can they expect? Why should they go? Is it family friendly? Kind of give people the rundown of what it looks like to attend, because it's kind of a sport that most folks don't think about attending, but probably should.
Yeah, I would say I've had a lot of people come up to me that had never watched wrestling before and say that it was a long kind
It's the same thing. I mean, we have security guards who have never seen it before, and they are just in the tunnel with us, and I can just see them getting hyped over moves that didn't even get any points, but they're just excited to be there. And it's just a lot of action, and it's just two guys fighting with rules, basically. There's no punching, there's no kind of biting or anything like that, but it's very physical, and it's very fun to watch, and just trying to impose your will on somebody else and show them who's boss. So it's really cool. It's a fight, but it's a organized fight.
Maddie, what are your brothers up to? What are they doing these days?
So my older brother Joey, who was on team last year, he's still in the room with us training every day. So it's really beneficial to have him, and I'm so blessed that he stayed here, especially for my last year here. And he's still, training hard, trying to pursue other wrestling goals. And then I have another brother who also wrestles here, Paul Bianchi, who was our first NCAA qualifier. He's out at Appalachian State, and he's the assistant coach out there. And he's training hard too, and we're actually going to see him at one of the tournaments in January, so that'll be fun to see him.
Steve, Maddie just mentioned that his brother is coaching. Either you guys have any aspirations of coaching? At some point. I'm not trying to.
I'm keeping my options open.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Yeah, I definitely want to coach, but maybe kind of on a more development standpoint, like youth, middle school, high school. I really think that's kind of fun, and I've seen some kids who just kind of get that burnout or almost fall into bad coaches who just kind of burn the kids out, and they make it too serious at a young age where, a lot of that youth competition, it's just for learning and having fun, and people think it's the world championships, and it's really not. No coach looks at a youth career or a middle school career. They care about high school. So I think being able to coach at that younger age can show kids that, hey, I've been near the top, I've been close to it, and I'm telling you right now, things you did in your youth, the tournaments don't matter, but what you're building on, the life lessons, the character building, that's what matters the most, besides just, getting little trophies here and there.
So Coach Arisman obviously is a pretty special coach. What for you guys, what is it about him that you like so much? Because I usually find that people like different stuff about a coach. Some stuff's common, but the thing that really sticks with them most can be different to each person. That's what makes coach special, right? Can you reach every single kid that's on your team and find them wherever they are? So I'll let both y'all answer that. But what makes him special to you? What's the most important thing, at least to you, Steve? You can go then, Maddie.
Okay, I would say he's a big family man. He's very strong in his faith, and he has we have a kind of like a duo of good cop bad cop with Coach Neal and Coach Javi. So it's like Coach Neal is the bad cop, and then you have the good cop come in and they kind of play off each other like that. So I mean that's what I like about Coach Neal and Coach Javi as well.
I like Coach Neal because, like Steve said, he's a family man and has very strong faith. And I like him because he also tells you the truth. He's not going to sugarcoat you, and he's not going to babysit you and kind of give you a pat on the back when you did something wrong. He'll call you out on it, and it keeps you humble. And I feel like that's a big part of this wrestling sport, is constantly re-humbleizing yourself and knowing that there's more to learn and there's more to keep getting better at. So yeah, I mean, just hitting with you straight, and sometimes being that bad cop, sometimes being that guy who needs to get in your face and yell at you a little bit and kind of give you those kicks in the butt sometimes.
Steve, you have 1 year left, or how many years do you have
this
eligibility?
This year and then another one.
Okay, so you have 2 years left overall. All right, Maddie, this being your last year, what does that mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, it's been a long road. My freshman year, I only won one Division I level match, and to see myself go from an 18-year-old kid who at one point thought I didn't even belong here and almost left and quit to an All-American status, and it's just I'm really blessed. And I try to use my abilities that God has given me, and just the best way about that, having fun, best effort every time I step on the mat, and being able to give 100%, and hopefully guide some of the young guys, and show them that it's a lot of it is a mental game, and it's a lot in your head. And whether you're nervous or have doubt, you can push those things aside and just have fun. And because that's why we're here. So we were all little kids, we were all middle schoolers dreaming of wrestling in college, and now we're here and we get to live the dream. So let's do it. Let's not worry. Let's not put too much pressure and make it not fun. The whole point of doing this is because we love wrestling and we love having fun. So let's go on that mat and do that. So
Josh, you get a chance to broadcast wrestling?
I've never done wrestling before, no. So I did a couple times. I did color commentary for some amateur MMA, which was, I tell you what, Joe, you get to go to an amateur MMA event.
I've been to plenty of them.
Like half the people don't show up. They have to rematch the dudes right before it happens. It was a wild scene. It was a lot of fun though. But I've not done wrestling.
So that's going to be the next venture then, because we know that you get calls up at times. So
yeah, I did volleyball
venture.
last week. It went really poorly, so I'm not sure. I need to watch some wrestling. I understand wrestling, but it usually just in context of MMA. My actual wrestling knowledge, because what they call what is the style of wrestling that you all technically do? What is it called?
Folk style.
Folk style. Okay.
As long as you're shouting the points at the right time and making it loud, being like 3, and just kind of.
You mean for public address though? So because I guess Yeah, that'd be tough to do. I wouldn't know how the scoring would work. So public address might be harder than doing the actual TV for it.
So you mentioned the style there. What's the difference between it's folk style and Greco-Roman? What are the differences?
So there's folk style, then there's freestyle, then there's Greco-Roman. And we pretty much just do folk style and freestyle. Greco-Roman's where you're not allowed to touch the legs with your hands. And then, but freestyle, very similar to folk style, but it's pretty much, you'll see folk style, we're on the mat a lot more. After you get a takedown, you can hold someone down and try to get points that way. And in freestyle, you only get a few seconds to hold someone down, so it's kind of more on the feet and a little bit more action that way.
You guys have some really great looking gear there too. Really like that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Also, coach has a lot of faith in them to show up unaccompanied and go on the radio and represent the program well. So,
they're always going to do that.
Yeah.
You guys have favorite pro sports teams?
Oh, yeah. I'm a
Packers?
big Green Bay Packers
Yeah.
fan, yep.
I don't actually. I mean, I don't. In Kentucky, we don't even have any.
Any pro sports?
Yeah, no pro sports. So
Well, the closest, I guess, football would be Cincinnati Bengals.
yes, yeah, I think so.
You-
I was a big Steelers fan whenever I was a kid.
There we go.
But I just kind of like don't have a team anymore. You know,
Okay.
I watch. I do watch, but I like MMA as well. So
Who's your favorite fighter?
right now,
Yeah, change it. Watch.
yeah.
Yeah, you really can't be. Maddie, do you have a favorite?
Favorite fighter? I like Michael Chandler a lot.
Yeah, Missouri
Oh,
Tiger.
both those
Yeah.
They're
guys.
both
Missouri Tiger.
wrestlers
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was he a national champion?
No,
No.
he placed 8th his senior year.
He did.
Yep.
Yeah, they had him, Tyler Woodley, and Ben Askren, I think, like back to back,
Yep.
in a relative short period of time. then
And
there's
I
a
would
guy
say
in-
Ben, but I mean Ben's my coach, so I feel like that's kind of biased.
Oh, was he your coach?
Yeah, he was my high school coach.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing a lot better.
That's
You
great
know,
to
there's
hear.
Yeah.
There's videos of him, and he's moving around. He's getting a lot
Great.
of weight back. His face is looking.
scary. It was
Yeah.
scary, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was
it's-
very scary. I was worried for him, but I texted him and stuff. There were so many people in the wrestling community praying for him and everything. So it was really cool to see.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming in. Steve Little, Matty Bianchi, Little Rock Wrestling. Get started on Sunday. For Steve, you get started on Saturday. Great to have you guys in. We appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you.
We'll be back with more of Out of Bounds after this break, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Stay tuned.
Beechwood Hospitality presents coverage of the Dallas Cowboys on 103.7 The Buzz. Beechwood Hospitality, the lead.
This is Sports Center.
The Blue Jays evened up the World Series last night, beating the Dodgers 6-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went two four with the home run off Shohei Ohtani in the second inning to give them a 2-1 lead. Toronto then used the sixth inning. The Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson became an $180 million extension. It includes $140 million Gear Network.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Razorback center Caden Kittler will join Morning Mayhem each week this football season to discuss everything that's going on with the Razorbacks and college football. Brought to you by J. Martin Law. If you have any legal question, call Jay for free 24/7 at 501-951-1333. J. Martin for all your legal needs. Don't delay. Call Jay.
Leaves are falling, and so are prices at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. It's a fall festival of savings on select 2025 and 2026 models, including Silverados from $36,500. Drive the all-new all-new Equinox for under $28,000, or lease a track starting at $249 a month with $3,700 due at signing. Plus, pre-owned deals with available sales tax paid on select inventory. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. With approved credit. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Check out the new clothing at Bell & Sword in Conway. A new cricket polo with Razorback logo, button-downs, vests, sweaters, slacks with UCA or Arkansas gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. Great staff, fantastic service. Bell & Sword, the only Central Arkansas men's store with a tailor on staff to fit you. So go now to Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes, QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
Attention Worcester, you've asked for it, and now you have it. The newest family market store on Highway 25 between Conway and Greenbrier. And to help celebrate, the Buzz will be broadcasting live from there this Thursday morning. Stop by and enjoy free breakfast and community coffee during the show, great discounts at the pumps, and 50-pound bags of deer corn for only $6.99 on Thursday and Friday. Limit 5 with an 8-gallon gas purchase while supplies last. All happening on Morning Mayhem this Thursday, live from Family Market.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors, Westmore enjoying a day off today. It's been a lot going on in the sports world here lately, Josh. There's been
it's all
across
happening.
Exactly what we have when NBA starts, NHL.
The equinox.
Yeah,
the
you already have college football, NFL, college basketball. It's getting started with some of these exhibition games.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to watch not only Arkansas, but just around?
Yeah, I've been able to catch some. I think Duke obviously was the big one, but it's kind of cool to see that they're playing these big exhibition games. You know, we used to have like all the secret scrimmages were a thing, and now it doesn't really matter. These are not so secret scrimmages. Right?
It must have really been a secret because had no idea that there were secret scrimmages.
I don't think these teams are running a lot of offense. I think it's just kind of like guys feeling their way through stuff, just want to see what they have, putting them in some moments. But and the environments are good too, which I think kind of makes it feel more important. So I think these are good opportunities for all the coaches to see their guys. And it's funny, Steven mentioned that meet he's going to in Rutgers, where it's like people are watching. Doesn't impact record or anything, but people are watching and figure, kind of seeing stuff. So it's funny you see number 1 Purdue go and lose at Kentucky. I wouldn't be shocked if first time something goes wrong, the polls will kind of reflect, well, we saw some trouble earlier, right? Because in football we don't have that. But like basketball, I have a tough time seeing Arkansas stay at 14. I don't think I think they're gonna be moving on up after what we saw in their first 2 games. So I think after the first week of the season, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay, yeah. First week, because hopefully
After they vote.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't let these exhibition games really influence.
Yeah.
Like there would be a change before the season starts.
I don't think they vote on it until after the first week.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But maybe we do kind of get a better feel of what it truly looks like simply because we are seeing these teams and these players on the court, as opposed to when it's a preseason poll, it's strictly guesswork from there. You don't know exactly how good these teams are going to be. It's all about projections. It's mostly looking back at last year's team and spinning it forward to see what they've added and how good they may be, but you don't truly know because these rosters keep forever changing.
Yeah, and like rankings in basketball are just kind of they're very arbitrary, right? Because I mean, in the end, like how well you're playing matters, and also what seed you are matters. Like your matchups and whatnot matter. And that's ultimately defined by your record, right, and your performance. So the kind of week-to-week rankings they're especially in basketball. I mean, they really are used more in football as a TV object, but in basketball, like the rankings are a week-to-week thing. If you have 2 road games in the SEC one week, guess what? You might lose both. You might lose both by 10. You got 2 home games in the SEC against 2 pretty good teams. Well, you might win both of them because the environment's on your side. But the truth is probably about who you are as a team is somewhere in the middle, right? And that's why I think rankings in basketball sometimes don't always reflect that, especially preseason ones.
What would you expect for college basketball this year, some of the better teams going into it?
Arkansas.
Well, okay, outside of Arkansas.
Yeah, I think Duke's done a great job. I think Kansas has been interesting the last few years. I know that last year that team just never quite got going in the way they needed to. And I don't know if it's a Hunter Dickinson thing, but I think he kind of slowed the pace down of what they wanted to do and what they wanted to play. And they could not just get that combination of guys right. And that team should have been a lot better. They were old. They were experienced. They had a bunch of guys who had played together a lot.
Old in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, those guys had all played together, too. KJ Adams and the point guard, I forget the kid's name. Not Wagner. He'd been there for 5 years. Dickinson had been there for 2. So, I mean, they had, AJ Storr was a veteran, too. And they just couldn't get it to come together. So, I'm interested to see how Florida follows it up because they've got a very good roster. A very, very good roster. And I want to see how they. I want to see how UConn, if UConn can bounce back, because that team last year was pretty ordinary, I would say. So I'm really focused on how Hurley's group's going to look because, man, that 2-year run they had was just. I mean, they were just murdering everybody at the end of the year.
It's a lot easier to recruit coming off a championship, and to the point about Florida, recruiting just became a lot easier for them.
Right, and a big part of it though too is the talent ID. Because, I mean, when you get guys like the guys they got from, I believe Martin was FAU, I want to say, and then Iona is where Walter Clayton came from. I mean, it can be easy to see who guys are really, really good, but I don't think anybody could have seen Walter Clayton becoming the guard of the tournament.
Oh, you never know how this talent is going to equate from what's considered a lower level, and like – you can play some of these teams that are considered lower level, lower conference, and those teams, as like you've talked about, they've been together for a long time, and if they've been together for a long time, they're going to have more experience, and they can match up better against some of these top schools that are kind of trying to piece it together.
Yeah, I think it's finding that balance. I mean, because there are teams where your freshmen can be impactful, but then you get to the tournament and – man, some of these games are just wars. When you played like St. John's wanted to make it a fist fight, not a basketball game, and they were really successful at doing that all year. And you need grown men to play in those games. That's why we saw the struggles Arkansas had the first 5 games of the conference schedule because the guy taking most of their shots, the guy running the offense was an 18-year-old going up against 22-year-olds. And so you got to find that balance. I think that the freshmen for Arkansas got a lot of run recently, last 2 games, because – you want to see what they can do, but you can't just pop them in there once they start playing big dogs. Like, it's not going to go well. Physically, those guys are kind of ripe for the taking sometimes.
I think it may be not only do you want to see exactly what's there and get them that experience, but you know that everything is judged in practice leading up to it. That's all you have to go on.
Right. See the bullets flying, right?
Yeah, these guys have been the best in practice so far, and so if they've been the best – that's who you want to put on the floor. You want to put your best players on the floor.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing for Arkansas is that they have a bit more depth than they had last year. So which guys work together well, right? Because I think they're going to have some times where they can, if they want to go super defensive and stop two really good guards, they can put some big guys out there and make it a nightmare. If they want to be faster and get guys who can go downhill, they've got a little bit of that too. If they want to go bigger, they have the flexibility to do that. So I think figuring out which lineups work well and how guys fuse together, something that's a part of it too, just kind of getting everybody running. Honestly, a lot of that stuff, Joe, is built though during the off season, like when the guys are playing pickup in the gym with each other during the summer. That's when you kind of build that chemistry, initial chemistry, and then you build off it once you start playing games.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, especially with this team, and just we know that Coach Cal, his teams, they may not finish the way that they actually start out, because they may not start out with the expectations that are there and play at that level to begin with. But what you want to see is continued improvement throughout the season. And those are his best teams that have been around to date when you see the teams continue to get better throughout the season.
Yeah, and a lot of them are young guys, a lot of potential, right? And so, it's, whatever analogy you want to use, like it is a whittling process. I mean, you're trying to make somebody into not a fully formed product as a basketball player, but as much of a formed product as you can in the time that you have with them. And that's why I think they're so fortunate they got Billy Richmond and Carter Knox back, because the improvement those guys showed over the course of the season was staggering. They both had a rough game against Kansas, but, man, they really showed up in a big way against St. John's, and then Carter was fantastic again in the next game against Tech. And, you see a guy peaking like that, and you see the physical ability, the shooting ability, and you're like, man, an NBA team should be glad to have him. Shockingly, apparently they weren't.
You know what, though? I think if Carter stayed in the draft, there was a team that would have taken a chance on him.
I think his physical profile, he's got big shoulders, he can drive, he can shoot, he can defend, and he wants the ball when it matters. And so, that's stuff that check, and check if I'm an NBA team.
And the advantage also is with basketball players, NBA, they've been seeing these guys forever, especially when they've been in some of these places like Overtime Elite. They know exactly who these guys are. So a year in college, that's not necessarily going to determine their fate, or 2 years or whatever the case may be. They already know who these guys are. The guys have already been on the radar.
Yes. Yeah. The other guy I mentioned was Billy Richmond too. I mean, he was hitting threes the other night, Joe. And if he hits, and that's always one of those, like, watch out, Ben Simmons has been in the gym. You always get very kind of careful around stuff like that. But if he adds a 3-point shot to his game, it's part of that development that we're talking about. That could be.
Guys can get away with just being athletic and playing on raw talent.
Right.
And then we know when they get to the next level, that's where they really start to develop that shot, because that's all they're doing is working on the shot.
Adu Thero, good example, right? I mean, the reason why Cal advocated for him to go to the league is because Arkansas would not have used him the way that he would be used as a pro player, right? He was a forward for kind of rebounder, 16 feet and in type guy for Arkansas. He didn't shoot the three very well. Well, in the league, with the way he physically profiles, he's going to be a 3-and-D guy. And they're going to lock him in the gym and make him take 10,000 threes, and he'll learn how to shoot in the corners, and top of the key and rotate and move around and try to maintain some of that physical stuff, tracking balls down and whatnot. But, the way he'll play in the NBA. And the ultimate example of this was Grant Williams. Grant Williams was a back-to-the-basket guy, 2-time SEC Player of the Year, and then he became a 3-and-D guy when he got to the pros.
You always see guys that develop their shots and they get better. Ricky Council is an example of that.
He still messed up shot, but he hit more than right.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what it's about. It's not only the mechanics, but are you able to drop that shot? Because the mechanics don't really look clean still, as you mentioned, but I mean, as long as he's hitting the shot, that's all they're worried about. Well, you're able to score.
The other guys are the ones getting you open, right? The reason why the team shoots so many threes is, all right, we have these guys who attack, and the defense has to make a choice. Do we leave the guy in the corner open, or do we let this guy go to the lane one-on-one? And usually they'll leave Ricky Council open for three, as opposed to let whoever Tyrese Maxey go to the rim.
Be there Friday morning, November the 7th for the grand reopening of the all-new Dick's Sporting Goods on Higdon Ferry Road in Hot Springs. And not only will you be there, but some of your favorite football heroes too, like Peyton Hillis on Friday night starting at 6, Darren McFadden on Saturday at noon, and Felix Jones Sunday at noon. The first 100 adults in line each morning will receive a mystery gift card valued up to $500, and the first 100 kids receives a DSG soccer ball. It's the grand reopening of Dick's Sporting Goods in Hot Springs.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall savings event. The first 50 homeowners who call will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. In as little as one day, we'll take your old bathtub down to the studs and complete the installation of your brand new custom-designed walk-in shower. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. You'll receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Mo Monday special is the best deal in burritos. But what about those other 6 days? Well, let me introduce the new Mo Value Meal. Junior burrito, side of queso, chips, salsa, and a fountain drink for only $9.99. And the best part? It's available all day, every day at Moe's Southwest Grill. Now here's my daughter Andy Kate with a special reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. Got the big deals at the Big Rock.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot, Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Lot Benton.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1598. That's 800-822-1598. 800-822-1598.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference is
The Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
There's a fly ball in deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone. Brown Jr. gives the Jays the lead. The franchise face putting the team on his back. Ground ball left side. Pass Mookie Betts at 6-1. A full spot for the Jays in the 7th.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studio. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors. World Series last night. Blue Jays tie it at 2. Now it becomes a 3-game series to see who becomes World Series champs. Blue Jays, they win last night 6-2 over Dodgers.
Yeah, big for them. They'll at least get to finish the series back home, right? It's a 2-3-2 format, so the series will be ending in Toronto no matter what. And I think that's big for them. And, man, the way they fought has been really impressive, right? I mean, and the fun thing about this is it's been a star series. You know, you have Yamamoto with the complete game. I think he threw in, what was it, game 2 complete game?
And then he was trying to go at the end of game 3.
Yeah, lunatic, crazy. And then you got Shohei, obviously. He reaches base 9 times in the other game. You know, and then you have Freeman with the game winner. And then you have last night, another big night from Vladdy. I mean, the stars have come out, and that's what you want to see in series like this. So, really compelling. And the Jays, there's no fear in them at all. That they the Dodgers. I mean, they are an intimidating team. You look at the list of arms and the lineup. It is it's a full course meal, Joe. It really is to go against those guys. And I mean, Shohei, even when he doesn't play well, he can always have a game where it's like it's weird to see in baseball to see a guy take over a game, but he feels like he's got that takeover ability, which is odd to see in baseball. You don't usually see it
from both sides too, offensively, defensively, where he's on the mound pitching actually. So he's on the mound, he gets 10 strikeouts, and he has 3 home runs in the same game.
Yeah,
that's something that we've never seen before, and he'll inspire players in the future to want to play like that, but we don't know if we'll ever see that.
Man, and the power. Like, he is size-wise, he's so big. He's got such a good swing, too. And his pitches, the movement on them is ridiculous. It's funny because usually you'll see guys between innings that go into the dugout, and they'll sit. And the way it works in dugouts is you don't talk to a pitcher when he's pitching. If he talks to you, you can talk to him. But typically pitchers don't talk. This guy is having to ask his teammates, like, what are you seeing up there? He's getting the on-deck circle. He's warming up, taking hacks. And then he's like, all right, time to put the glove back on. Like, he's a little leaguer going out there and pitching. And, I mean, that's one of the best individual performances, regardless of sport, I've ever seen. That's got to be the greatest single baseball game ever played.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
It's insane.
And then in the 18-inning game, he walked so many times simply because he dominated the first part of that game. So Jays didn't want to give him an opportunity to put the game away.
Right.
So they pitched around him and they stayed away from him. That in itself shows dominance, where you're having an effect on the game without actually putting the ball in play.
Right. It's like and especially for teams that have protection for these guys, like that's what makes it so hard. You think about the 2019 Washington Nationals, like the whole point of the lineup that did so well was you put Soto, Turner, and Schwarber together. It's like at some point somebody's going to get on, and if anybody delivers in any capacity, you're in good shape. And when you protect a guy like Shohei with the guys they've got in that lineup, you're going to be in pretty good shape. And like you said, that just puts pressure on teams. Either you face him or you can put him on. Okay, well, he's on base. Well, I mean, you got a base runner on, so now you have to worry about that. And now you're facing a guy like a Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, whoever else, even Teoscar Hernandez. So Kike Hernandez is
exactly.
Back from the dead, apparently, too. So, yeah, I mean, that's the ability that he gives. He really impacts the game in so many ways.
Dodgers are the draw in this series, and of course they should be. The amount of money that's put into this team, they won last year.
The amount of money that will be put into this team, because apparently they don't have to pay anybody any money right now.
Yeah, and they're champions from last year. They're trying to go back to back. So anybody on the outside that hadn't been paying attention, it's all about Dodgers. But Blue Jays were number 1 seed coming out of AL, and so it may not. It's one of those things where people may not realize just how good they were and have been all season. Now, there wasn't a lot of separation. They won it by, I believe, a tiebreaker. They got the 1 seed.
Yeah, with the
Yankees.
Yeah, well, shout out to the Yankees bullpen for allowing that to happen. They were just Toronto's bullpen got a lot of flack this year. The Yankees was terrible.
But just think about how that changes.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
The entire picture there.
And now that we're going to see at least Game 6 back in the Rogers Center, and that's the big that's helpful.
Yeah, they made a reference to that also TV wise, where they showed when these teams matched up during regular season, and there was a home run hit late in the game which gave Jays the win, and that was the difference in that one game also separating them for home field advantage.
And it's bigger in 2-3-2 series, right? Because, to me also, it's hard to win 3 in a row. Winning 2 in a row is hard. Winning 3 in a row in a World Series is very difficult. And also, if you're the middle 3, you don't get game 6 or 7 at home if it goes to that. You have to go and win both of those on the road. So I think I don't like 2-3-2. I understand in baseball why they do it, but it's a massive advantage. And shout out to the Jays for getting that. They earned that advantage.
Well, they used to do it in basketball and baseball. They did it, at the same time. When basketball decided that it's time for a change, baseball, they said, no, we're going to stay with the same format. Now, for baseball, I don't think that there's a big home field advantage. It comes into play when you have an extra inning game like you did the other night.
Yeah.
Because no matter what was happening with Blue Jays at the time, Dodgers were always going to have the chance to answer.
I think things can roll downhill a bit more. If you have it rolling, like let's say it's like 4-1, 5-1 game, and you hit a couple home runs in a short span, I think when things compound, the home crowd can kind of help you a little bit when you get rolling. But I would say generally I agree with you. I do think there is somewhat of an advantage. And that Jays crowd is, I'd say ferocious is a good word for that crowd. It's an awesome, awesome crowd.
Have you ever been there to
I have
Toronto?
Not. I've never been. I've been to Canada a bunch. I've never been to Toronto.
Been to Canada a bunch? Like where?
Banff, which is basically imagine it's like Jackson Hole, but in Canada. Banff, Canada.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's out west.
For skiing purposes?
No, actually, we just go, my family loves going. We hike. My family's big hikers, which I like hiking sometimes. I don't like hiking as much as they do. Joe, one summer we went to a ski resort in Colorado.
Yeah.
During the summer, so we could just hike the ski trails. And I'm like, this is psychotic.
How old were you then?
I was 12. I'm like, this is terrible. This is the worst vacation ever. Yeah, I don't know.
You're the one that probably, I wouldn't say spoils the vacations, but you're the one that kind of is like, I don't know if I want to do this one.
Beach.
Oh, beach.
Send me to a beach.
That's your favorite.
I don't mind hiking, but just send me to a beach.
We're going to come back with more of Out of Bounds after this break. It's top of the hour. We're going to have your Razor Hog update on the other side. Then we're going to be joined by Chris Turnage to catch up around NFL. Trade deadline is coming up here soon, so there's been a lot of action so far. Stay tuned. More of Out of Bounds coming up after this break.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
Stop and shop at our Conway and Little Rock showrooms. That's Hawks Homes, has been serving Central Arkansas since 1986. Is Arkansas's #1 sales dealer. Volume purchasing power enables us to offer our customers the best prices on the highest quality homes. See the world's largest double wide and single wide homes, triple wide homes, and even a quad. You dream it, and we'll build it for you. We're the only manufacturer and modular dealer that can build your custom home from your plans. Check them out online at hawkshomes.net.
There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to football weekends, and that's what makes Yingling such a great pick. From traditional lager to light lager, flight, golden pilsner, and black and tan, they brew a beer for everyone's taste. Whether you're manning the grill or setting up the tailgate or just watching with your friends. Yingling's got a flavor.
Crushing all the competition.
So you can take that to the bank.
Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
A Jacksonville man will spend the next 2 decades behind bars. 24-year-old Michael Edwards was arrested in March after investigators received cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Police found over 460 files on different electronics at his home. Edwards pleaded guilty to 50 counts of having child sexual abuse material. He will have to serve 100% of his 20-year sentence. And police in Pine Bluff are searching for the person who who shot a teenager in the hand. Police say this happened Sunday afternoon on South Cherry Street. The 14-year-old boy and his friend were leaving a store when a white Dodge Challenger followed them. Police say the victim told detectives the man shot multiple times. That teen was taken to the Arkansas Children's Hospital for treatment. Anyone with information should call the police. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Byrne Jr.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We do have a wind advisory in effect for today until 7 o'clock. Winds could be gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour throughout the rest of the day, and temperatures will stay cool with highs in the mid-50s. A sprinkler or two can't be ruled out throughout the rest of your Wednesday. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team with your forecast for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Hi, this is Joe Klein with Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Whether you're dining in for daily specials like cheese dip happy hour, driving through for a barbecue bulk pickup order, or prefer our full-service catering, our professional staff at Corky's has you covered. Corky's in Little Rock and North Little Rock. We'll see you soon. And be sure to listen each week when I stop by 1037 The Buzz.
Well, Bass, game's almost over. I hope you got those bets in on the Oakland Sports app.
You know, Roger, this Oakland Sports betting app might actually make watching games with you bearable.
That's big talk coming from a guy who's about to pick up the tab. But I hear you. With this app, we can bet on all the games this season with so many options.
And after they kick this field goal, it'll be you picking up the tab.
Nah, he's going to miss.
It's good!
That's bad.
Bet all season long with Oakland Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Ted with Accountable Roofing and Remodeling. We are proud to offer window and door replacement installation. Our upfront honest pricing and easy financing make it easy for you to increase the value of your home and reduce your energy cost in one step. Accountable Roofing and Remodeling windows and doors carry a lifetime guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Call us today, 501-621-0500, or visit us on the web at accountablerr.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The Sam Pittman era did not enjoy the success Razorback football enjoyed under Frank Broyles, Lou Holtz, Ken Hatfield, or Houston Nutt. But Sam did his best and represented Arkansas well. Pittman embraced the natural state and will undoubtedly be popular among the denizens of Lake Hamilton in all the years ahead. Thank you to a good and decent man who brought the Hogs back from the ignominy of his predecessor, who shall not be named. Ask your Double B's cashier about signing up for a rewards card where you can save money on purchases at all our stores. And with all the do-re-mi you'll save, you can get a head start on buying Christmas presents. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Listen each Monday morning when Morning Mayhem's Justin Moore tests your Razorback knowledge with Razorback Trivia, presented by Precision Garage Door of Central Arkansas.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
It's no longer a question as to whether the Kansas City Chiefs have turned a corner in this 2025 season that they started off 0-2 in. It's just a question of how far they're going to go. And started, and the Broncos have caught fire. The rubber begins to meet the road now for Kansas City. They're at Buffalo. Always an epic game. The Bills just came off of a 40-point domination against Carolina, so they're feeling really good about themselves. And they always feel good about themselves when they play Kansas City in the regular season. And Chiefs get a bye, then they can actually host games in Arrowhead or not.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to Hims hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Who that thinking that he
Razor Hog Update on Out of Bounds is brought to you by Flight by Yingling. Crisp, refreshing, and just 95 calories. Pick up some for your next tailgate or watch party. Flight by Yingling. Brewed for fans who never settle. Yingling.com.
So Razor Hog update. We got some sound from a couple of players here. Raylan Sharp, and he's talking about the team going through adversity.
I think we all just want to win at the end of the day. But at the same time, like you were saying, being grateful. Me and Rowan talk about all the time just where we came from. This is a lot better than places that we came from. So just being grateful, but at the same time, just having the perspective that, sometimes you work for stuff and it doesn't go your way and just being able to keep going. So, we got a few more opportunities. You can't let up just because of the past or the things that happened in the past. So we're just going to keep working, get better. We have futures after this as well. So you can't let up. And, Bobby P tells us a lot of times, like football does translate to life itself. So adversity is going to happen with your kids and things like that nature. So if you were to back down now, it's going to happen later in the future. So we just got to keep having a positive attitude, keep going to work, and it's going to pay off, one of these days.
Also, Raylan Sharp had some comments going into this Mississippi State matchup on Mississippi State.
Both teams have a lot of adversity, and they want to get some, that chip off their shoulders. So they're going to come in here, go to work. We weren't here last year, but they're, a way better team than we were last year. So, each game we just got to do our best. We can't really worry about who's on the other side of the ball. We got to do our job and, just stop beating ourselves and, play, one play at a time and, make that the best play. And so, we just got to do our job and play our best 4 quarters, not 1 or 2 quarters, but all 4. So they're going to come to play. We're going to come to play and, we just got to do our job.
We've been hearing this next player, his name is Rohan, but Raylan Sharp just called him Rohan. So if his teammate is calling him Rohan, seems like that's the way to go.
How about just Ro?
There you go. That makes it simple. Here he is, Ro Jones on Taylor Green.
I think he's ready to work. He's ready to go out there and keep doing what we've been doing all season and get back to that standard. Like Raylan said, I think we showed what we can do as an offense, and he's shown what he can do as a quarterback. And we just got to get back to that level. I know you guys were asking about lifting him up and all that after the game, but I think we're all there for Taylon, but he doesn't need us to be there for him. I think he's a very strong individual and he's our leader. So he's not going to let one performance or whatever people are saying about him affect his play. I think we got back to work today and we're back to that level, and we need to prove that that's where we belong.
Other news around Razorbacks athletics: Carter Knox is on Julius Erving Award watch list. So he's one of 20 players on the 2026 watch list for Julius Erving Award, and that was announced by Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. And let's bring in Chris Turnage here on Out of Bounds. What's up, Chris? We're always happy to have you on.
Yeah, guys, always enjoy chatting with you.
So NFL trade deadline is coming up, and we've seen a number of moves happen so far. What's kind of the hot players and some of the hot topics out there as we approach this trade deadline?
Yeah, you're starting to see a little more action, it seems like, every year in the NFL. It's not certainly like basketball or baseball where, there's a ton, but I think you're starting to see more and more every year. Teams are becoming more accustomed to it. One of the big things, it's interesting, Cowboys obviously trade away Parsons, but they've been sniffing the market, called the Cincinnati Bengals about, Hendrickson there. They called the Raiders about their pass rusher to try to get that replaced. And so they're definitely trying to make a move on defense, trying to upgrade that. We've already seen, as you mentioned, Joe, a flurry of moves. We've seen Joe Flacco trade in division. Mike Tomlin even comments on that, to say, hey, this is kind of a crazy deal. But so you have seen some decent, names traded so far. Pittsburgh obviously just got a new DB from New England, new safety. So I think number one is watch the Cowboys, see if they do anything on a big name defensively. And then number two, see if any other quarterbacks change hands. I don't know if there really are or not. I think those are probably done. But you always could have somebody lurking in the weeds to try to come up and get one.
I think there may have been a market for Kirk Cousins before this latest injury to Michael Penix Jr., and then with Kirk Cousins' performance in that game, probably has cooled quite a bit.
Yeah, if Kirk would have come out and had a decent game, I think that would have pushed that to happen. I think you would have seen more teams, and now I think it's like with that being kind of the last thing on their mind, then now you've got Cousins coming out, today saying he wants to be traded so where he can go be a QB1. And it's like, man, did you watch what just happened the other night, against Miami that y'all should have smoked? And so I think that definitely probably, depressed his value a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about, quarterbacks where there's somebody sitting in the wings that could be useful for somebody. Even for, like, the Jets, do you need Justin Fields? I guess.
Well, they just got to win.
Well, I get, but he has accomplished. If your goal is to tank, he is helping you accomplish that. But like, he is still. To me, he's still potentially productive, a productive player. And what about your Steelers, Joe? What do the Steelers need? Besides, they just got a safety.
A lot defensively. Yeah. That's the deal with them is they pay so much money and they have a lot invested into this defense, and it just hasn't clicked. And there's a thinking, Chris, that it's more so the coaching than the players. Like the scheme that they've run, it's exhausted. It exhausted 10 years ago, and they're still running that same scheme with some of these dynamic players. They're trying to do what they've been doing forever, and it's time to get with what's happening in today's game.
Yeah, and I know the Steelers defense, has been a big disappointment kind of league-wide this year. Everybody thought they were going to be a top defense. It's kind of interesting, Joe, you're talking about the scheme. So I represent Rod Woodson, obviously Steelers Hall of Fame and NFL Hall of Fame. He talks to me all the time about how complicated that defense is. It's not something you can just come and plug a guy in. And so, I agree with you. I think that I don't know if some of it is because he's good or what, but they definitely need to make a few little some changes a little bit to get back up to where they're in the perennial top five of defenses.
Chris, can I ask you just a general? It's a college sports question. I want to ask you about the college coaching financial stuff. I know it's not your area, but I just want to hear what you think. So I was reading. I think it was Brandon Marcello did a great piece over at CBS Sports about the bubble of coaching salaries and how these guys from the search firms keep saying, we think it's going to burst, we think it's going to burst. And these schools just keep finding money and they keep guaranteeing long contracts. What makes Jimmy Sexton, I forget the other agent's name, what gives them so much power? Is it just simply the fact that if you don't give their current guy the stuff they want, the next guy he reps that you won't get a very good deal? Because I cannot fathom why these coaches have got these schools over the barrel the way they do in terms of contract length and guaranteed money.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do represent some coaches as well, and so I'm in that mix. Not anywhere close to Jimmy Sexton, by the way. But it's interesting. What I don't get is I don't get why AD he does the same play every year. Oh, LSU's open. I might have 3 guys interested, and running gets raises for his guys. And I'm like, guys, he does the same thing, every year. But Josh, I think to answer your question, it's do I call his bluff and then potentially lose this coach that we really like that I have here? Josh, this was before you were in Arkansas, but Houston Nutt, represented by Jimmy Sexton, the job comes open when Nick Saban leaves, and Nick Saban comes out publicly and says, the toughest coach I've ever had to play against was Houston Nutt. Well, all of a sudden, Arkansas is like, we're going to have to lose Houston Nutt to LSU. And guess what? He goes and gets a $2 million a year raise, just because of that one little statement. But Saban's also a Sexton client. So it's like you don't think that Sexton put them up for that, the top. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I guess my thought is that like if an athletic director came out and said, like just say Missouri's was like, okay, because obviously Drinkwitz is going to get a raise. They're on the way to maybe the 3rd straight 10-win season. He's in the mix for other jobs. If Missouri's like, look, we're not going to go above 10 million a year for 6 years, and he wants 12, whatever it is. And the AD's like, we need that money for our roster. Like, we'll pay you we'll pay you for 6 years, but we're not going to do 8 years for $12 million. That money's going to be put towards our roster. We'd love to keep you. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. I don't think the fans can get too mad about that because as we've seen with Arkansas right now and anywhere else in football, it's about the quality of your players. Like that's the end of this entire thing is Arkansas's got one of the most productive offenses. They just cannot, except for the Auburn game, they just can't stop anybody at all whenever they need to at all, and it's costing them. And it's because they don't have good enough players on defense. Why don't ADs make that argument?
And I think to your point, Josh, I mean, like even in my organization, I've got some people who I consider invaluable, like employees. But if it gets to a certain point, I've got to say, hey, I'll go get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I think ADs have to have that mindset to say, yeah, we love Drinkwitz, but look, if you're saying $15 million is the draw the line in the sand, we can't do that. And if you got to go, then go. Like, and we're comfortable with the offer we've made and what we'll go do. I think that's what ADs have to do. And then I think the other problem is, and I say it's a problem, I mean, I've been the beneficiary of this too, but
good problem to have.
Is ADs rushing to re-up the coach. If you guys remember Bielema, after he wins, they go re-up him when he still had 2 years left on his deal, and that's what causes then these huge buyouts. Just play that 2 years out, and then re-up him and decide where you are 2 years from now, and you wouldn't. Then if you cut ties, you don't have that buyout, So I think it's that. And then, as far as on the front end, if I'm representing a coach who has a big name, has a good opportunity, I'm going to tell the school that we're going to, you gotta make it worth his while if you do fire him in 2 years. So like he's not coming for peanuts, so you better pay up, and we want a 6-year deal so that I know you're serious. So it's that pressure on the front end to kind of say you're not going to get him if you don't give me this 6-year deal at whatever the dollar is, because we can go elsewhere, or we are elsewhere and we're happy here. He's like Rhett Lashley, perfect example.
Right.
Let's just say if he's Arkansas' number one choice and they go approach him, if I'm Rhett's agent, I'm going to say, all right, guys, you're going to make some pretty heavy guarantees for me for the first. We're going to do a 6-year deal, and you're going to give me some heavy guarantees for the first 4 years because he's getting up a great situation, to come there where he's not on the hot seat. So
yeah.
I think that's what kind of drives those discussions.
I was just thinking about Brian Kelly. The fact he didn't make it to the back end,
right?
And I think we all think Brian Kelly's he was a pretty good coach, but it just didn't work out.
But that's why, to Chris's point, you want to make sure you're going to be secure, no matter what the result is, whether you see it out or if you don't see it out, you're going to have that big buyout, which compensates you and
totally.
And it works
but this
out.
amount of security is ridiculous. I mean, really, like the fact that we might have 3 swings this year where a school has to pay $100 million plus to fire the coach they currently have and hire the new one. Penn State's probably going to have to do it. LSU's probably going to have to do it. And Florida State, I don't think they do it, but they might. Nobody would be shocked if they did, and all of those would be $100 million swings. And it's like, that is just not sustainable to me. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong, Chris, but it doesn't seem sustainable to me.
Well, you're right. It's crazy. But now keep in mind, majority of those contracts are going to have offset language in there where they, if they go get another job, it's offset by their new job. So in other words, if we owe you $5 million, you go get a new job for $4 million,
right.
We're only paying you $1 million. Is that different? So you're right. The total tax could be $100 million, but then offset. Like James Franklin absolutely says he's going to get another job.
Yeah.
So you got to figure it's going to be pretty heavily offset there. The thing that always scratch my head and wonder, guys, is LSU, you obviously had a ton of donors that step in and said, "Hey, this is not acceptable. We'll foot the bill." Well, can you imagine if you just footed the bill and gave $50 million to your player pool, like NIL?
Yeah,
like,
how about an offensive
I
lineman?
could be a great coach. I could go be a great coach then. If you're going to give me $50 million more, like, we'll just go get the best player at every position. So it's weird. It's like you're willing to do that to buy out the coach, but why didn't you do that to support the coach while he was there?
Chris, you represent both college and NFL coaches?
Yep.
Okay, and so there's a thought that with NFL, we see that what's happening in college, that we're having these midseason firings. There's a thought NFL-wise, we get to this point in the season, and you can kind of point out some of the coaches who may be on the hot seat. Bruce Arians yesterday on Pat McAfee, they had a discussion about AFC North, saying that every coach in that division is essentially on the hot seat. And Bruce Arians, he said whichever team wins the division, their coach should be good, unless it's John Harbaugh, because that, and that's me saying unless it's John Harbaugh, simply because of expectations there. If they go 9-8, they win a division, and let's say they win their first playoff game, but they fall well short of Super Bowl aspirations, I could still see a scenario where he would be gone. But what do you think of that thought that pretty much every coach there is on the hot seat? John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Zach Taylor, and Kevin Stefanski.
I agree with that to an extent. Although what I would say with Harbaugh is, Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Ravens, he has a huge amount of respect for Harbaugh, and I think there's also some consideration to say, hey, I'm playing without Lamar Jackson. We've had some injuries. We've had 7 total injuries to starters, where they missed time. So if I'm Harbaugh, that's what I'm telling him. So I feel like he might get a little bit of a pass in that scenario. Now, if he goes, if he wins 6 games, then yeah, there's probably no pass given. But to your point, Joe, if he's 9-8, 10-7, and win, I think he might get a pass. But yeah, look, I think absolutely. Now, I don't see Tomlin actually getting fired, but I could see Tomlin stepping away voluntarily and just kind of saying, hey, I need a new change of scenery and kind of a reset, and whether it's sit out a year and come back or whatever, I could absolutely see that. But yeah, as far as Taylor and Stefanski, I think absolutely they're going to be squarely on there. If you're Taylor, you're going to make the argument, hey, I'm playing without Burrow again. But it's like, yeah, but you got to try to prepare him, and because of he hasn't had the success the last couple of years that Harbaugh has, I think he'll be closer. So yeah, I think absolutely that AFC North is dicey for coaches right now.
And what you mentioned about Tomlin there, it's kind of like the Steelers' way. They really don't fire coaches publicly. They allow them to kind of step away and just say it's amicable, because they did it with Chuck Noll. They did it with Bill Cowher. And that's why they have such long-standing, long-tenured coaches. And you can see definitely same thing happening with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, like, the Rooney family loves Mike Tomlin and what he's done for, Steeler Nation. And, it is incredible in today's day and age to not have a losing season, your whole time you're there. So I think they would do that absolutely. And so, hey, let's kind of part ways on a mutual agreement and, go from there.
That's why he's been so adamant over the years whenever his name comes up in coaching searches that he's like, I'm not going anywhere. This is the best job in not only NFL, but he feels like in all of sports. So that's why he's so adamant about it, because of the relationship that's in place. To this point in the season, we've seen plenty of football so far. Who are some of the teams that stand out to you as far as on the winning trajectory, and also some of the ones that may be a little surprising where they haven't lived up to that level?
I mean, I'm going to start with the second part, the latter there. I mean, I think Miami is performing. Now, nobody, to my knowledge, expected them to win the Super Bowl this year, but, like, man, they just look horrible. Obviously, they had a great game against Atlanta, but Miami just looks like they're inept offensively. They look disjointed. So I think they've been a pretty big disappointment, overall. I think, obviously, then on that flip side, Denver has been a nice surprise. I mean, they're right now currently first. Their division, obviously, the Chiefs struggled early, but now Chiefs are clicking. But still, Denver's defense is legit. I saw a stat. They're the first team at this point in the season to have the most sacks by the defense and the fewest sacks allowed on offense. So they're number one in the league on both categories. And that's a pretty good formula. If you can do that formula, that's pretty good. And so that defense is dominant. And so Denver being there, I think, is a great not a huge surprise, but a big surprise that they're in first and with what they're doing defensively.
That NFC West also is a gauntlet when you're thinking about Seahawks, Rams. They're both 5-2, 49ers 5-3. And then Cardinals, they've lost a number of games here at the end. And
so average. They're just like Jeff Fisher's Rams now. It's like somewhere between 6 and 8 wins every year.
Right, but the thing about them, Josh, is they're always in these games to the end.
Really tough
and,
out.
Yeah, and so if they can pull off some wins, then it totally changes their season. Like, say if they're in 7 of those games and they can win the majority, they can go 4-3 in 7 of those games. That makes their season look a lot different than what it looks like now. Chris, what do you think?
No doubt, and I think, when you're talking out west, I know it's AFC, but too, I forgot the Raiders. I think people are surprised at how horrible they've been, with Pete Carroll coming in. But, yeah, back to the Cardinals, I mean, they're in every game, but, at some point in college, too, but especially in the NFL, you don't really get much for moral victories. The owners don't care about that, and they want to win. And so, sorry if it's loud here. I just had to step outside very briefly. But yeah, I mean, I think the Seahawks are a pretty big surprise to be as good as they are. That defense is dominant and elite as well. And I think the Seahawks have a chance to be a Super Bowl contender. I really do. I mean, they're getting Darnold is been an upgrade over Geno, and then that defense, like I said, is carrying them away. So that'll be a good division to watch down the road, where all of the teams are going to be competitive, and even the other teams, to where those games are going to be some really good games.
Hey, Chris, give us an update on some of your guys around the league and how they're doing.
Yeah, it's always fun this time of year as guys are getting to play, and so. It's interesting, Xavier Gibson, if you guys remember him, for the Jets, when Aaron Rodgers got hurt 2 years ago on Monday Night Football, Xavier was the one that, did the punt return to win the game, the walk-off punt return in overtime. He fumbled early in the year, and Aaron Glenn was kind of using him as a scapegoat and cut him and said, we're not going to fumble and blah, 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 which was pretty unfortunate. I wasn't a huge fan of Aaron Glenn's move, kind of by throwing him under the bus for that. But then the Giants claimed him off waivers, so he didn't even have to move. And then that weekend, the Giants, on Saturday, they had a defensive line injury, and they said, hey, we're going to cut Xavier's and sign a defensive lineman, then turn around and sign him back on Monday. Well, then the Eagles came in and claimed him off of waivers, and the Giants did it. So he's back. He's kind of now getting his carries and getting the return game with the Eagles. That's been pretty fun to watch, but a kind of a crazy scenario for him this year, having to be on 3 different teams and just based on those different scenarios. But that's been fun to watch. And then, I don't know if you guys saw a couple Mondays ago, this was a fun deal where Parker Romo, the kicker for the Falcons, he met his teammates there in the post game interview. Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah,
is he one of your guys?
Yeah, that was fun.
Leonard Floyd, yeah, and John Robinson, and they said, he's like, well, I know Bees. I don't even know him. Youth at Virginia Tech. And little fact, Josh, he was coached by a former Arkansas, James Sheebus, there on the special teams, Hall of Fame Arkansas wide receiver.
Any plans to get to some games here in the next few weeks to see some of you guys?
Yeah, so I was at Michigan State last weekend. That was pretty cool. And then this week I'll be at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party between Georgia and Florida there in Jacksonville. And although they're not supposed to call it that anymore, but I still do.
What's the deal with that? Why they change that? That's like the least offensive name ever.
Drinking.
They said they didn't want to encourage drinking. They didn't want to encourage drinking, which is crazy because they literally have the tailgate. I mean, set up, so it's like, come on, guys. I don't think somebody just calling it that is going to make somebody drink or not drink. Like, that's a little ridiculous.
What is it that they call it now? Or because they tried to change the name to something?
Yeah, I remember that, Joe. I don't remember what it is now. To be honest, they tried to change it and make it more tame, but I don't remember. I don't even remember what they changed it to. So it shows how effective that change was, I guess.
Oh yeah, and everybody's still going to think of it as the name that it is. So that's never going to change.
One thing cool. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a little buzz about NFL. I mean, Saturday game day coming to Arkadelphia for Battle of the Ravine.
Oh yeah,
that'll be really, really cool. I'd be excited to see that.
Chris, we're always happy when you join us, and it's always a great time, very insightful. We appreciate you joining us here on Out of Bounds.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll enjoy chatting with you.
Chris Turnage, NFL sports agent.
He's the man.
He really is.
Love talking to him.
Players, coaches, he represents them all. We'll be back with more of Out of Bounds here after this break. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Stay tuned.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888 for Rainwater Holton Sexton. They'll help you weather the storm.
This is Sports Center.
The Blue Jays evened up the World Series last night, beating the Dodgers 6-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went 2-for-4 with a home run off Shohei Ohtani in the second inning to give them a 2-1 lead. Toronto then used the sixth inning to add on to their lead, scoring 4 runs. Game 5 will be tonight at 7 on Fox. That game can be heard on The Buzz, joined in progress at 8:30. Last night in college football, Kennesaw State beat UTEP 33-20, while James Madison beat Texas State 52-20. Tonight, Middle Tennessee State will host Jacksonville State at 6:30 on ESPN2. Then Florida International will go to Missouri State at 7 on CBS Sports Network. And in the NFL, Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson became the second highest paid non-quarterback in league history by signing his 4-year, $180 million extension. It includes $140 million guaranteed. That is the most for a non-quarterback. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Mo Monday special is the best deal in burritos. But what about those other 6 days? Well, let me introduce the new Mo Value Meal. Junior burrito, side of queso, chips, salsa, and a fountain drink for only $9.99. And the best part? It's available all day, every day at Moe's Southwest Grill. Now here's my daughter Andy Kate with a special reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
Let's talk numbers, because if you're a sports fan, you'll want to hear this. Flight by Yingling has just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's light beer that actually brings some game day flavor. Whether you're tailgating or watching from the couch, Flight delivers that crisp, refreshing taste without any of the baggage. College football and tradition go hand in hand, and there's no tradition quite like America's oldest brewery, Yingling. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, PA.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Hey, it's David Basil for my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. Got the big deals at the Big Rock.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot, Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Rock Benton.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Here come old back top, he come grooving slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what you please. Yeah.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live here from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors. If you want to get in today, you can give us a call, 501-661-1037. D3 Auto Sales text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gwatney Chevrolet, live fan feedback, all the ways to get in. And we do have some live fan feedback. And some D3 Auto Sales text line. We have...
Which one you want to go first?
D3 Auto Sales text line.
All right. So from the D3 Auto Sales text line, let's see. John in Tucker says, Joe, do you want to know when the next Hog basketball game will be televised? If so, do you know what channel it is? Thank you. I believe it's on Monday night. They're playing the Southern Jaguars, which I think is an HBCU, yes?
Yes.
They're playing Southern Jaguars, and the game time, let me find that really fast.
It's SEC Network, and it's at 6 o'clock.
Boom, there you go. That's the season opener. They're done with their exhibition games. So, yeah, that next one's a real deal next Monday night.
So the players are looking forward to that one. They've it's kind of like the wrestlers when Steve and Maddie, when they were in, they were saying they've been looking forward to some competition, not only seeing each other, but seeing some guys on the other side they get to compete against. And same with basketball. They play these exhibitions, so they've been seeing some players on the other side. They can see where they stack up, but also now the games count. So this is what they're really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's big that they played those two teams too. They're pretty decent teams, just because their schedule is going to go in fits and starts, at least in the non-con, because they'll play a lower level team, then they'll play a big game, somewhere against a really good team, and they'll do kind of that back and forth. So I'm right there with you. Also, somebody said I think Arkansas basketball is ahead of other teams because the core four, to use a Yankees term, but also think they can stay ahead with the talent they have. I believe Coach Cal's biggest job is going to make sure this team reaches its full potential and finding things to get them to get on them about. He'll have a lot to get on them about. College basketball teams usually don't shoot well a lot. They'll have a couple 20% shooting nights that he'll get mad about, but I think for them it's, for Cal teams, to me, Joe, the big thing is for guys to understand what their role is, and for Cal also the same way. I think about last year, like the players define their roles, yes, but think about last year, John L. Davis. If you watched him at FAU, was a middle driver, right? A guy that caught the ball wing, or he'd catch the ball, extended, kind of make a move right, then cut back to the left. Like he wanted to get middle. And he started off last year in the corner. And then, once Boogie went down, shifted back to one of those middle guard positions and really flourished as he got more PT. And, man, I tell you about conditioning. That guy he looked, other guys would wilt at the end of games, and he was still 40 feet, up and down, 40 minutes. So, and then the other way around, for Cal, really making Trevin Brazil buy into that role of you set screens, you rebound, you get stickbacks, but also that three-point shot you keep working on. And when they needed him, when he stepped in and for Thero, he actually gave more out of that position they were getting before because of the way he would shoot the three, right? Thero, not a great three-point shooter. You can kind of give him that. Teams had to respect Trevin from three, but he didn't play a whole lot before that. Coach Cal kept him engaged, made him buy into his role when eventually it was time, and he was a star. So it works both ways, where guys have to buy into the role, and also coaches have to make sure they're putting guys in place to succeed. So
Bet Saracen has some Razorbacks basketball regular season team specials, and one of them is Razorbacks to beat either Duke or Houston regular season, and that's minus 135. Also,
that shows you what they think about Duke or Houston.
Yeah.
That shows you what the odds makers think about those two teams this year. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Also, to get 2 wins versus LSU, that's minus 110.
I don't think the books like the Tigers very much.
Arkansas to win 5+ games in a row. That's also minus 110.
It's going to be hard. With the non-con schedule, it's going to be hard.
Right now? You think so? Let's
well,
see.
Then a lot of their easy games are not all clumped together. I mean, they're broken. They're playing so many good teams in non-con. They're kind of all broken up.
Okay, here's a stretch. If you can get it,
give me one.
Michigan State, which is going to be difficult,
but winnable.
But after that, UCA, Samford, Withrow, Jackson State.
Yeah, there you go.
But if you don't get Michigan State, it's UCA, Samford, Winthrop, Jackson State, Duke.
They could easily. I think they'll probably rip off 5 in a row at some point this year.
And then let's look at you're
SEC.
You're
we
right,
have no
though.
idea until we kind of get there, right? I mean, SEC. I mean, conference schedule. It's hard to win 5 in a row in conference.
Right,
in
so
this league.
it would have to be non-con.
Right.
It would be the better chances for non-con.
Yeah.
Also, when we want to get into some plus money, Arkansas to beat South Carolina, Texas, and Tennessee. Whoa, that's going to be tough.
Doubles against any of those teams?
Plus 150. Let's see.
That'd be the big question there, right? Are you getting more than one bite of the apple against any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big question there on that one, is what I would think.
Also, to beat Georgia and Texas, 155. Plus 155.
I don't think Texas is supposed to be gangbusters this year. Sean Miller, first season in the SEC, although he was in the
Sean Miller's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a really good coach. Yeah, I'm a big Sean. I like Sean Miller a lot. I'm a huge Sean Miller guy. So I think he'll be fine. But he was in the Big East, so he understands that grind. That Big East is much of a grind. Maybe the bottom part of that league not as good, but the density of it. I mean, the meat of that conference is very good.
Here's a couple for you, Josh. Razorbacks to win 7+ home wins against SEC teams, so in conference. That's plus 300. But here's the big one. To win all neutral site games, all 4 of them, plus 1,100. That you're really getting some great odds on that because it's difficult.
The coaches they will face in those neutral site games: Kelvin Sampson, Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech, who they last year lost to. They'll face John Shire and Duke, and then the final one. Let's see, what's the other neutral site they have? Duke. Oh, I guess UCA then is technically a neutral site, is it, or is it a home game technically?
I mean, it's a home game. It's considered home
because Houston's neutral, Tech's neutral, Duke is neutral, and then trying to find. Sorry, the Fresno game. Excuse me.
Right,
Is at North Little Rock? Yeah. Is it Simmons Bank? So I guess does that count as a neutral? Yeah, it is neutral. Yep, on the schedule it says neutral. So that one you can kind of. I mean, don't want to say it, but you can kind of bank it as a win. That's the easiest one of them. The next one they play is the next Saturday against Tech. It's gonna be a hard game, obviously. and then Duke. Yeah, I mean, good value, but man, those are 4 tough games.
And we mentioned how hard it is to win 5 in a row. Here's a couple more difficult ones, but you're getting great odds for it. Beat Alabama, Florida, and Kentucky. That's plus 1,300. But here's one that's even bigger. Plus 1,600 to win 10 in a row. So we already got 5 in a row. 1,600 to win 10 in a row.
Yikes. 10 in a row is going to be tough with this schedule.
But that's why you get those odds.
Yeah.
You get
totally.
those odds. To win all conference games, plus 25,000. Put a couple of dollars on that.
I think I forgot what the first place team in the SEC in 2024, what the record ended up being. But in this league, if it's anything like it was last year, it's going to be a tall order.
It always is. We're going to come back here with more of Out of Bounds. It's going to be our last segment before top of the hour. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Stay tuned.
Honey, wake up. Santa's sleigh is on the roof.
Not a sleigh. It's a brand
said
new
Gwatney's
Lincoln.
coming here?
And you can win your own during Southland Casino Hotel's Here Comes Santa promotion.
How do we win?
Earn entry starting November 1st to win your share of over $550,000 in free play and prizes. And don't forget the grand prize drawings on November 29th and December 27th to win a brand new Lincoln.
Come on, honey. Let's navigate to Southland.
Tell your friends about Here Comes Santa at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Today, I want to talk to you and ask you to consider us for your automotive needs. First, we have a family atmosphere. My grandson, Sam Fletcher, is there every day, along with Zippy, our GM, and an outstanding sales team. We're a family, and that's how we want to treat our customers. Our service department is excellent. We even have loaner cars for customers who buy from us. We don't have loaner cars from buy somewhere else. When it comes to pricing, we put our prices on the windshield. You don't have to find a salesman to ask for a price. Everyone gets the lowest price. We check the internet and we compare the same make and models at all of our competitions. You always get the best deal at Fletcher Dodge, and all of our pre-owned vehicles come with a free warranty. Yes, I did say that. Folks, my goal for 36 years is for you to know us and trust us and know that we value you, our customer. Come see us in person on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop us online at FletcherDeals.com.
David Basil for Luxury Pool and Spa. It's hot tub season, and Luxury Pool and Spa has Fantasy, Hot Spring, and Caldera hot tubs in stock on the showroom floor and ready for delivery. Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville also carry Serona Spa chemicals and frog systems, the same that I use in my hot tub. It's also that time of year for tailgating and watching the hogs outdoors. Luxury Pool and Spa carries Pollywood Adirondack outdoor furniture for sitting around fire pits on those cool nights watching your favorite game. Check them out online, luxurypoolarkansas.com.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/sports. FletcherDodge.com/SPORTS.
Great Hump Day edition of Morning Mayhem. Want to thank the folks at Fletcher Dodge Chrysler, Jeep Ram, and Sherwood for hosting Roger and Baz. Also want to thank Trey Reed, Rick Schaefer, Walt Coleman, Joe Nichols, and you, the listener, for joining us. The boys are back tomorrow. Thursday's edition of Morning Mayhem will be live from Worcester at the Family Market there. Join us 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on 103.7 The Buzz. It's Morning Mayhem.
Gwatney's got some big deals going on right now. Fall savings event through the rest of the month, and we're at the end of the month, right? A couple more days. You know they've got to meet their quota, so they're desperate to make some deals. Already, you can get a Chevy Silverado, brand new, $36,500. You're not going to find $36,500 for a Silverado anywhere. They got a Trax offered at $249 a month. The Equinox is under $28,000. They've got a great selection of previously owned vehicles, used cars, less than $6,000 a month, and you're still getting top dollar for your trade-in. They'll take Kelly Blue Book, give you 20% more. Great deals happening when you trade in, when you buy, and then you know they're going to take care of you at Gwatney Chevrolet. Go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. Take a look at all the inventory. Take a look at all these deals I'm telling you about. Then go to the James Street exit, where they're going to make some deals happen the rest of this week. I promise you, they got to sell some cars. Take advantage of it. It's Gwatney Chevrolet.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Take the party wherever we go. Start in the morning, go all night. Waited all week, it's time to come alive. Biggest stage, brightest lights, down in Tuscaloosa.
It's happy hour at Twin Peaks from 2 to 7. App start at just $3. Later happy hour, 10 to close. Flatbreads for just $9. Out of Bounds is looking forward to getting back to Twin Peaks. We'll be there back-to-back weeks for Texas and LSU games as Arkansas takes on both of those teams on the road.
I'm actually heading to Twin Peaks after this, Joe, to get one of those flatbreads.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, they have plenty of food and drink specials.
They do.
And the drinks.
It's fantastic every day.
Yeah, the drinks. Food and drinks. Remember those drinks. And especially the draft beers.
Mhm.
They're really cold. 29 degrees.
Yep, that Peaks Light's like $2.99.
Oh, yeah.
Great deal.
And it is National Dessert Month. They have great desserts there at Twin Peaks also. And they are currently doing their leather and lace costume party, which it coincides with Halloween. Halloween is going to be on Friday. But even more specials going on with leather and lace costume party. So check out all the food and drinks there. And any of the sports you want to watch at any time, it's the best place to watch all the time. And we're talking about all the sports that are going on right now. College basketball, NBA, NHL. They do NHL giveaways there at Twin Peaks. NFL, it's across the board. College football, college basketball, everything you can think of, they have it at Twin Peaks.
The best TV situation at any bar in Little Rock.
Absolutely. Inside and out, they have it all. It's Twin Peaks. Each drink scenic views. It's Out of Bounds from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors. We have Matt joining us with a question. What's up, Matt?
Hey, guys. I was listening to y'all's show just a little earlier, and one of y'all mentioned something about when Thomas and Acuff get into conference play, they're going to be playing against 23-year-old grown men in the SEC, and that they're going to get manhandled. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if y'all taking a look at Acuff. He's about 6'2", 6'3", and he looks like a light heavyweight boxer. And he's fit, and he is stout. So I don't think you're going to manhandle him. And Thomas, he's got some size on him, too. They look already like grown men, not freshmen. And they're easily better than anybody else on the team or any team that they so far shared the court with. So go back and comment on that. I'll hang up. Thanks.
That was
Appreciate
good.
it, Matt.
Yeah, so the reason why I made that point is that if you think about Walter Clayton last year, Walter Clayton is not physically different than a lot of guys that we see in the SEC. And it might even be, not as physically gifted. But Older guards just have this way, especially in college basketball. Like, they've been through the ringer. They know how to win. They know how to lose, most importantly. And I think one thing about Boogie last year, Joe, in that first 5 games, he was taking losing shots. A lot of contested, pull-up twos. And that's a guy who physically, was really quick, could get to the rim, but he didn't have that early success. And so these guys, I would agree, are a bit more physically mature, but it doesn't always pan out. Like, it's that combination of physicality and experience that usually older guys have that force the younger guys to make mistakes in games. And look, that's what we saw it against Kansas. Like, late in the year, even though Billy and Carter were older, more physically guys, they didn't look good in that game. Now they rebounded really well. The next 2 games look pretty good. But there is an ability to be a bit more inconsistent from younger guards because they lack the experience and sometimes the physicality. But I'd agree that they look physically good, but you got to combine that with the basketball IQ.
There's an adjustment period, but also all these guys aren't the same. It's individual situations.
Right.
Because, speaking of Boogie's situation, that was one that was just to him only. So
Right.
you can't necessarily say that it'll be the same situation
Totally,
with these guys. But
yeah.
to your point, it could be. I mean, we've seen it happen.
Right.
But each situation is different. And so some of these guys are NBA ready. And so there may not be much of an adjustment for them with the college game, just simply because they're all ready for the next level. And we see that from time to time.
I would say physically, like as Matt mentioned, they're ready probably for the NBA, but you have to marry the two things. The one thing when you watch NBA games is the guys are so good. There is this. And there's a lot of quality players, quality guards, right? But there's some guys where just they have these physical traits that make them like De'Aaron Fox. It's one of the quickest players I've ever seen. Now, as he gets older, he'll slow down a bit, but
and that's when he'll have to make that major adjustment to his game.
Right. And I remember in college he played Lonzo Ball, and Lonzo was a good defender. Lonzo could not stay in front of him. And sometimes you kind of meet that match that you find for one reason or another. It's like I'd say Sean Padula was not as athletic as a lot of guys he went up against last year at Ole Miss, but he was still a really productive, good player because he'd had 4 years of seasoning previous to his season last year at Ole Miss. So that's kind of more what I'm saying is that knowledge of just knowing how to win and what winning basketball looks like.
Oh, there's definitely an advantage to players that have been around college basketball, and especially if they've been in different settings, different systems, where you see them transfer. And they only seem to get better as they transfer around, and especially at the end when they have all that experience. But then there are guys that are just more talented than everyone else, and those are the guys you see that are one and dones.
Yeah.
And really they need to change that as soon as possible, where if these guys want to go straight to NBA, let's let them go.
I'm fine with that,
if
too.
they're ready for it.
I'm fine with that, too, Joe. But that's why you put a DJ Wagner next to the young guys, because guess what? It's an old, experienced guard, and he'll have the keys this year to the offense in a way that he didn't from the word go last year.
And that's something that is encouraging also about college is you see these guys, they're supposed to be one and dones. Sometimes they stick around.
Yeah.
The ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Edwards Food Giant, they know your family is important, and they also know that your time and convenience is as well. So why not take advantage of their heat and eat items in their deli department? Those famous Edwards Food Giant signature dishes with many of the same entrees and recipes that are served daily in the hot bar, all ready to take home and serve to your family tonight. And it can all be found at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is orange chicken for only $7.49 per pound, paired with vegetables. Fried rice for just $4.99 per pound.
Is your AC down and it's got you upset? Comfort Team. Fast service, free estimates, and financing available. Family owned and Arkansas proud. Schedule today at jetacservice.com. That's jetacservice.com.
World champion of what?
103.7 The Buzz, your world champions of sports radio.
Don't get me wrong.
KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
One person was hurt in an accident on Tuesday involving an 18-wheeler. The truck overturned just before the I-40 interchange in North Little Rock. RDOT says it stopped in the grass between the north and south lanes, leaking fuel. We don't know the condition of the person hurt or how the truck overturned. Well, the University of Central Arkansas leadership is looking to get their name out there for people in Northwest Arkansas. The university has created the Northwest Arkansas Advisory Council, made up of UCA alumni leaders. They will serve as strategic partners and advocates. The council will meet twice a year. The goal is to advise school leadership, identity collaboration opportunities, and shape initiatives to boost UCA's presence in Northwest Arkansas. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment presents Coach Nolan Richardson when he joins Drive Time Sports every week with Rollin' with Nolan. Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Bowen. Find them online at ametrucks.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We do have a wind advisory in effect for today until 7 o'clock. Winds could be gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour throughout the rest of the day, and temperatures will stay cool with highs in the mid-50s. A sprinkle or two can't be ruled out throughout the rest of your Wednesday. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team with your forecast for the Buzz Radio Network.
Benihana Happy Hour Specials, $3, $6, $9. Sushi, food, and cocktails. Available 5 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday at Benihana Bar.
Join Roger Scott for game day watch parties at Boudreaux's Grill and Bar, 9811 Maumelle Boulevard in North Little Rock, and cheer on our team. Roger will have his bag of goodies, and Boudreaux's will have great food specials. The fun is at Boudreaux's in the People's Watch Party with your host, Roger Scott, and your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Arkansas Roundballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall savings event. The first 50 homeowners who call will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. In as little as one day, we'll take your old bathtub down to the studs and complete the installation of your brand new custom-designed walk-in shower. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. You'll receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Hi, I'm Dr. Molly Meek, an interventional radiologist at Arkansas Urology. I do minimally invasive procedures such as prostate artery embolization for men and uterine artery embolization for women. This means less downtime and faster recovery. We are the only urology practice in Arkansas with an interventional radiologist on staff. That means more options and better care for you. Give us a call at 501-219-8900 to schedule your appointment or visit arkansasurology.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. As I used my new electric lawnmower the other day, which is actually more like vacuuming your lawn than actually mowing it, I got fancy and carried away and did some creative cross-cutting. Suddenly, Johnny Cash's song, I Got Stripes, came to mind. And while I'm pretty sure that JR had something different in mind than mowing, well, it's always the right time to listen to some Johnny Cash. So whenever you put those sweet stripes in your yard, don't forget the Duke of Dias. Hi, I'm Johnny Cash. Speaking of great Arkansans, when you walk into a Double B's, you will be greeted with a warm, welcome to Double B's. All of us have been blessed by the Lord to live in this wonderful state, and none of us should forget it. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
There's a fly ball in deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone. Brown Jr. gives the Jays the lead. The franchise face putting the team on his back. Ground ball left side. Pass Mookie Betts at 6-1. A 4th spot for the Jays in the 7th.
That's how World Series Game 4 sounded last night. Jays coming away with 6-2 win over Dodgers. And Vlad Jr., he hit that home run to get everything going. 2-run home run as they were down by 1. And then they end up winning 6-2. So they never gave up another run after that. And they had a 6 straight runs on they gave up another one later in the game. But they controlled it for the most part. And David Ortiz, Big Papi, he always is funny on postgame. And he and Vlad Jr., they've had some funny exchanges this year already. He was on giving an award. He gives the My Dog Award, and he gave it to Vlad Jr.
You my dog. Matter of fact, I got a present for you, baby. I got a cigar.
Oh, a cigar too.
And I got one on my dog's shirt for my boy right here. Come on, Baladi, take it, baby. There you go.
Poppy, that's black.
I got some bullet right there left.
Is that the VIP black? The VIP edition?
No, that's my boy. only the bad guys wear those shirts. I love you, baby.
He always gives out the shirt. That's the first cigar he's given out. So
That's
you
right.
know he loves you right
He
there,
love me.
baby.
This is my guy.
Enjoy it. Congrats. We'll see you for Game 5, okay?
Thank you.
That post game is so fun.
They're really good.
They are.
Yeah.
Kevin
Burkhart's, he is the man. Like, he is so talented. It's, yeah, man, those are 3 different kind of ball players. Obviously, A-Rod, his own thing. Jeter's a bit more subdued. Poppy's just kind of the heart and soul of it, though, isn't he? He's like their Barkley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you hear when he and Vlad Jr.
The Yankees lose?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
so
gosh.
good. And there's a great picture of little Vladdy Jr. next to Poppy, I think, during one of the home run derbies. I think Vladdy Sr. was at least around. I'm not sure if he was in it, but obviously both Dominican, all the Dominican, and I think that's probably somebody that Vladdy Jr. looked up to.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
it's cool to see him have this relationship that's ongoing in the post game together. That's a really cool. And I mean, they're both sluggers, man. Like, they are sluggers. Just tough to work around guys. And, Poppy, not very fast. Vladdy Jr., not very fast. But
yeah, similar players
but
for
if
sure.
you put it in the wheelhouse, they're going to do something with it. They were both extremely great hitters. And clutch hitters, too.
Rob Manfred, MLB commissioner, he was asked about ABS challenge system, and so he gave his thoughts on it.
The challenge system in particular gives us the opportunity to fix a miss in a high leverage situation so that you don't have a miss affecting a game. More importantly, or equally importantly, I do think that overlay of technology, and believe me, this technology is really impressive, is a good thing for the game, particularly in terms of attracting a younger audience. The renderings on the board is an additional form of entertainment for the fans in the ballpark. So it's all positive from my perspective.
And that's something that's going to be implemented next season. So we'll see that take place and see how it affects games. You would think that managers, they would be skeptical about challenging early in the game. They probably try to save those till later.
Yeah, how do you feel about all that, Joe? I mean, are you on board with ABS?
Yeah, for sure. Anything that can improve the game. Now, what I am in favor of also is that you can't just implement a system where you're looking at each and every play.
Right.
You don't want to, because the games in every sports league out there, they're at a point where they're trying to give some pace to the game and speed it up. So you keep the interest drawn in what's going on in the action on the field.
Yeah.
You can't take a look at every play and every penalty
Nor should you.
or possibility that's out there.
Yeah, I think for me, some people I like the human element. No, because the human element gets it wrong. I don't want wrong, I want right. The one thing about umpires that I did like was, I like an umpire. Hey, if he has a different zone than what you're used to, that's fine as long as he's consistent, right? I don't think every strike zone needs to be the same as long as the umpire is calling it the same way for everybody. But they're humans, so they're going to make mistakes, right? So the ABS does take a bit of that guesswork out of it.
That's like we had a message earlier in the week. It may have been yesterday about the football line where they're doing the measuring from up top from the cameras.
Right.
Well, the misconception going into that was that there's a chip in the ball and the ball is going to be spotted based on the chip. The officials are still spotting the ball. All the line is doing is showing you how far you're away based on that spot.
And as Walt Coleman always brings up on our show, that the one thing you have to consider with that is you have to match up the whistle with the ball, right? Because sometimes these plays get, especially near the goal line and whatnot, play could get blown dead. So a ball could cross the line, chip could go off, but if the whistle has blown, it doesn't really matter if the ball is getting pushed forward. There are multiple elements you have to line up. I will say that it's a lot of occasions they get stuff wrong.
There was a situation with Tush Push this past Sunday where they said that Jalen Hurts' forward momentum was stopped, but there was no whistle.
Right.
And Kayvon Thibodeau comes out with the ball. He ripped the ball away from Jalen Hurts as he's going forward. So that's supposed to be a fumble recovery.
Right.
But they said no, his momentum was stopped. And then they tried to say that the whistle was blown, but as they ran the play in real time, he's rolling over the pile with the ball, and then the whistle's blown.
Right. And somebody here on here makes a great point, too, of the D3 Auto Sales text line. The knee matters, not just chipping the ball. So where somebody's progress is stopped, either by the referee deeming so or where their knee hits.
That's where you need that human element
right.
for sure. Colts are having a great year. Michael Pittman Jr., he talked about not only their quarterback and Daniel Jones and the effect that he's having, but also Jonathan Taylor being in MVP conversations.
I've never seen we're able to sit our guys like in the fourth quarter, and everything he's brought like to this team, like we just appreciate it, and like he's going to keep working and he's going to keep doing what he's been doing, and we're going to keep making plays for him because we love having him around.
Michael, how about the play of Jonathan Taylor? Some would say he's easily the offensive player of the year. I'd make the argument he's up for MVP.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if they can consider more than just quarterbacks to be the MVP, I think he's no question. He's on that path. And what he's able to do each and every game consistently, I haven't seen that really in my lifetime watching football. I know there's great players before, but I'm talking about when I'm actually watching, it's just I haven't seen it before. And just the things that he's doing, he's insane. And he does it so nonchalantly, on that 80-yard run, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a nice 15-yard run. And then he breaks the tackle. Okay, that'll be a nice 30-yard run. And then he snatches somebody's hand and pulls it off him and breaks it for 80. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did he just do that? Just the things he's doing, nothing really surprises me now. If he wants to impress me, he's going to have to score 5 touchdowns.
Josh, how do you feel about MVP and it basically just being a quarterback award now?
Yeah, it's a stats award, right? So if you're assigning it by value, it's a totally different conversation. But we don't do it by value. We do it by, are you winning, and what are your numbers? Those are the two things that really matter. Because you'll get guys who put up big numbers, but if their team's trailing a lot, it makes a lot of sense because they're always behind. They're always having to throw. So you want that combination of both. He's by far the guy right now. And I don't think there's who would be a close second for you
in running backs?
Well, just the MVP.
Oh,
MVP. I think it's Taylor by far. Once again, this obviously may change, but if you were to hand it out today.
Yeah, it would have to be Taylor.
It'd have to be him by far. Yeah, I'd say Smith and Jigba has had an awesome season. Out of nowhere. That's if you're going to go non-quarterback that direction. But also we've talked about this before, Joe. But the idea of guy getting older and getting better, kind of what we were talking about earlier. But quarterbacks, this happens a lot, right? Jared Goff gets traded after going to the Super Bowl. Well, let's be honest, he wasn't that good with the Rams. Now he's awesome.
But he did go to a Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, right. But guys like Darnold, guys like, and I know Geno's kind of tailing back now, but, Geno Smith had that late run where he got better a lot later in his career than he was earlier on. Even Joe Flacco having long stretches in his 30s where he was bad and kind of, readjusting his game, doing the Roger Federer, the second renaissance type
what, though? Great players around you will make you better as a quarterback.
Yeah,
and that's the situation he's in right now.
And he's like, simplify it, trust him. Then trust those guys. And
just get the ball in their hands.
Hard, right? You can tell a guy works hard because he says, I get one shot in the NFL. I'm going to keep rolling this thing out as long as I can. Guys just kind of get older and they get better. Daniel Jones is doing it maybe a bit earlier, but it shows you what a change of scenery can do for you because it's just a well-oiled machine right now. The Colts are kind of, me, Joe, what the Lions were last couple seasons, right? They had that year where they beat Rodgers last game of the season in Green Bay, kept them out of the playoffs, and then next year they started being a hammer. The Colts are drilling teams right now, and they're just efficient. It's good defense, ruthless efficiency. Really, they are blocking the hell out of other teams. They are creating massive holes. Taylor is great. At yards after contact, too. It's just all kind of working right now.
They have the luxury on defense that offense is performing at such a high level because they've had some defensive injuries, and they've had some holes in that defense on the back end, but you never know because that offense is scoring so many points. Now the defense is able to play more freely even with the holes that they had in that defense.
Yeah, the one question is, because it appears the South is essentially in hand at this point. Something significant would have to go wrong, I feel for the Colts to lose that division.
Hey, Jags have done it before.
Yeah, well,
like a couple of years ago.
But it's weird. I really trust the Colts a lot more than I trust the Jags, to be honest. It's going to matter when they play Buffalo or KC.
And they're playing KC soon.
Oh, I mean the playoffs. It's just
yeah. No, for sure. But I'm saying we'll have a better feel once they see Chiefs here in the next few weeks.
But here's the thing: with the way they're playing. Whether they drop those games or not, they're going to have an opportunity to get the 1 seed with the way they're playing right now. And that can make a huge difference, right? So we might not have to see Daniel Jones go into Arrowhead. We might have to see the reverse, right? We might have to see Josh Allen go to, or Drake May, but because ultimately we say this team will see, in one of those two places. So how does it look in the playoffs?
I'm still thinking though it's a little too early to talk playoffs for a lot of teams. Now some of them
Not KC, not Buffalo. I don't think.
Well, some of them you can say that. Like Colts, for example, they've already won 7 games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could pretty much pencil them in simply because their win-loss record.
I'll put it in Sharpie, Joe.
It's already there. So, I mean, you think about in the next 9 games, all they have to win is 3 of them, and they're pretty much in.
Right, but if they win 3 of the next games, we're talking about a much different situation. It's just
Yeah, for sure.
Form matters, but I still think it's the, hey man, until you beat those guys, there are levels to this, and the Chiefs just have his way about them. The Bills to some lesser extent, but that's the cream of the crop in the AFC.
As far as quarterbacks and MVP, Matt Stafford would be one. Baker Mayfield would be another. They're going to be
Baker.
close to
He's had rough last 2 weeks. It still wouldn't turn me from giving him. I think Taylor's the guy right now, but I would put Baker too.
And speaking of playoffs, Ravens, they're used to being in playoffs. They're struggling this year. They're sitting at 2-5 right now. Lamar Jackson, they have a game tomorrow night against Dolphins, another team that's struggling, and so that'll be interesting. But Lamar says that he likes the fact that every game is like a win-or-go-home game from this point on.
Coach pretty much touched on that, talking about that with us in the team meeting. Each and every game going to be like a win-or-go-home game, we started off first season ever starting off like this slow, so we're going to have to just do or die right now, each and every week.
Yeah, Josh, they're at the point where there is little margin for error. They have 5 losses already, sitting at 2-5. So, I mean, there are a few more games they could lose, but I mean,
they're 2 games out right now of the 7 seeds.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, they're not. It's not like.
And only 2 games back from division lead, actually. So 2.5.
Do you see the run they have coming up? They have 3 in a row on the road, which is odd after 3 in a row at home. You don't see a whole lot of that these days.
Right. And so there's a thought that they have an easy stretch coming up, but the fact that they're all on the road makes it a little more difficult.
This is one of those situations where, like, the good players, when they got to have it, they usually get it.
Miami's going to be easy, though.
Well, you never know which version. I mean, that is the ultimate crapshoot.
Yeah,
it is. Spin the wheel
of,
like, which Dolphins team will show up today? And they're a disaster internally right now. So I would.
And we saw this a few years ago, actually, when Ravens were peaking and they were a really good team. They played a Thursday night game against Dolphins, and there was a thought that they're going to go in and destroy them. And keep in mind, Ravens aren't that team right now. They aren't as good. There was a thought they were going to go in and destroy them. They got after Lamar Jackson from a defensive standpoint. They put a good game plan, good scheme together, and there was nothing Ravens could do to move the ball. Now, they didn't have Derrick Henry at the time, so that makes a difference, but it's been done before, so that's a sneaky one to watch out for.
Yeah, they'll be in a playoff spot by mid-December if they're able to keep guys. I mean, it's just like I remember last year's 0-2, and the Steelers off a good start. It was Christmas Day, I think, when they played, and I think the Ravens won, and I think they took the division.
They played them before then, the week before.
The Netflix game.
Yeah, Chiefs. They played Texans for the Netflix game.
Yeah. And they beat them pretty good.
Yes,
yeah.
Destroyed
and
them.
I think they had the division at that point. So
it was a combination of they were putting together some wins at the same time Steelers were sliding.
I like my chances with the Ravens. Like Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, all on the road. They should go 3-0. Minnesota will be tough. They're a well-coached team.
With J.J. McCarthy?
But, man, I just don't think they're very good. I don't think the quarterback's very good. He's not playing, is he? Is he coming back?
Sure he is. He's playing because Carson Wentz had season-ending shoulder surgery.
Why wasn't he playing before then?
Yeah,
did he just get back?
His knee, yeah, he just came back.
Oh, okay. So that's coinciding.
He's back. Yeah, he's in. Carson Wentz is out.
I'm not a
coincidentally.
Are you a McCarthy guy?
No, never have been. But hey, we're going to hear from Kevin O'Connell here after John Harbaugh, who spoke about feeling of the team right now.
I think everybody kind of understands it. I think everybody's just locked in. I believe everybody's locked in on the game. There hasn't been any conversation about any of that part of it. We created an opportunity this week by winning last week, and really that's what it is, an opportunity this week. And we have to go play our best football against a team that did the same thing. I mean, they went up to Atlanta, they played inspired football, they won a football game going away. They've had 2 great defensive efforts in the last couple weeks, giving up low 200 yards. Anthony Weaver's done a great job with that defense, obviously. So they're playing physical football. They've got so much speed, so many weapons on offense. They're tough to defend. We've just got our hands full for Thursday night, and that's really the only thing that we're focusing on.
So, yeah, he said it best there. They're focusing on Thursday night because it's one game at a time for them. But like that mentality, but also like how Lamar Jackson is like each and every game is win or go home.
I like to say I'm excited to watch him with that challenge. I think it'll be fun to watch.
All right, so here it is. Kevin O'Connell on Vikings' current quarterback situation since Carson Wentz is out for a remainder of the season with that shoulder injury.
What do you do? Do you roll with the kids now? I mean, McCarthy, Brosmer. I mean, let's just roll with the kids. You love them both.
Yeah, no. JJ's in a good spot. Had some really good work yesterday, and he should get a full week of preparation in here, and finally feels like he's truly ready to go be himself in regards to his ability to function at the position, but also do the things that J.J. McCarthy can bring to our offense from a mobility standpoint, and his ability to protect himself in many ways comes from his ability to play with great timing and rhythm from the pocket, but he's also got the ability to create and do some things off the schedule of the play. And then Max, I've made no secret for an undrafted free agent, my feelings on Max. I've been excited about Max, and his continued progression as a rookie in the NFL continues to be, arrow up and an exciting time for him and his growth and development. And he'll step into the number 2 role, and whether we end up adding, another guy here, just making sure our quarterback room is complete and prepared for as much as possible. As we've learned, you've got to be ready for just about anything.
We've seen that Eagles defense be really good at times. This year, maybe they haven't been as good, but they've had some injuries also they've been dealing with. But defensive coordinator Vic Fangio says that they are really lucky to have Cooper DeJean.
I don't think everybody was sure, was he a first-round corner, second-round corner, third-round corner. I don't think the league as a whole had a feel for his versatility because he didn't play it in college. And, he's really a damn good nickel, probably one of the best nickels in the league. And we're playing him at corner in the base. He could play safety if we needed him to. He's a defensive back, but really he's just a good football player.
Did you consider having him full-time on the outside?
We considered it, yeah. But, when you have one of the better players at a certain position, and it's an important position where you get involved more, you hate to take a really good player at one position to maybe not be as good a player or impactful of a player at another position. But it's definitely something that we've talked about.
Josh, you mentioned this, how a change of scenery can work wonders, not only for players, but coaches in this instant, where Vic Fangio a couple of years ago, it was a thought that the game had passed him by, his career was doomed, he was over, and that's when he was Dolphins defensive coordinator, but now here he's at a resurgence as Eagles D coordinator.
I'm a big believer that you could just you could hit the random generator where you just put all the guys who are currently coaching at coordinator and then just switch teams, and the results would probably still be pretty much the same. There's a few exceptions, but the NFL cycles through these guys, they all just coach the same places. This is not a super hard defense to coach. They have drafted extremely well. They are very physical.
That's the key.
They are very physical. I mean, you draft the Georgia guys. The one thing Georgia does is they do a great job of flying the football and tackling as a team. They are aggressive. They tackle as a team. They don't mind keeping stuff in front of them. I think that I'm not a Vic Fangio guy. I don't think he's I think a lot of guys could do the job that he's doing. Also, this defense has not been great this year. In the offense.
Things over.
They're going to win this division pretty easily. By that's the rest of the division being bad. But the Eagles just need to worry about finding their form, but playing well towards the end of the season, because they're going to have like that Broncos game should never have happened. I mean, was it 14 late in the game?
Yeah, but you know what? It balances out because they probably shouldn't have gotten a win
Rams
earlier.
Game. The Rams game, yeah.
So, so things like that balance as the season goes on.
That's a good point, yeah. But the Eagles is just, it's finding that mix. I guess for them, they got to run the ball well, right?
And that's easy for them to do because
they
have the offensive line.
But they haven't run the ball super well the entire year,
well,
right?
but I'm saying it's easy for them to get it together.
Yeah.
Simply because of offensive line, quarterback, the running back that they have.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I don't want to hear, and I hate NFL discourse. That's why I don't listen to anything NFL. I just kind of watch it and make my own opinions about it.
You have to.
But, this stuff goes in cycles. 3 weeks, it's like, why is Patrick Mahomes terrible? And 3 weeks later, it's like, they are red hot right now. And it's like, yeah, this stuff kind of just works itself out. The best teams eventually started playing really well, and I have no doubt the Eagles are going to find their form later in the season.
And speaking of physicality of that defense, Vic Fangio also had an interesting take, World Series-wise, about Shohei Ohtani and what you should do when you're facing Shohei Ohtani.
They're going to walk him every time he's up the rest of the series?
Sounds like it. Should. Might. Hey, Vic, how
They should hit him. They should hit him, not walk him.
Hit him in the arm and then he can't pitch.
That's right. His right arm is the lead arm. That's for a left-hander.
It's very Philadelphia of him to suggest they should hurt somebody, even jokingly.
Well, and I don't think he meant it in a way
he's just kidding. He's joking around.
But I don't think he meant it to hurt him either. I think he meant it more so to kind of send a message like,
yeah, why throw 4 pitches when you can throw one? It sends a message.
Right, yeah. and also it's like you have to be aware of the situation when the ball is coming inside on you more so than they're just going to pitch around you and you're just going to stand there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a message it sends pitching inside on a guy like that. I think here's the problem. If you hit him, it looks really bad. I'm not a fan of this guy's good, hit him.
No, never.
No, but
never. And you know what? To that regard, also, it's like if somebody gets hit on your team, that doesn't mean when the pitcher goes out the next half of the inning, you don't have to hit the next guy that comes up.
Don't put a guy on base just because you have your pride.
Right.
There's no need for that.
That's something that has always been a part of the game, but at some point, the game it evolves past that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to just base it on tradition and say, well, this is how it's always been. This is what we need to do.
When Chase Utley broke Ruben Tejada's leg, the next year, the Syndergaard threw behind him. So it still sends the same message. And you didn't have to plunk him. Still got ejected anyway. But, you didn't have to, it's a projectile. It could hurt somebody. There's no need to throw it at him,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's funny, too, because I was watching one of the World Series games the other night, and a ball got past the catcher, and you see of course, they're all in camera view.
Right.
You see one of the fans actually move and jump. And it's like there's a screen in front of you. The ball is not going to hit you.
Yeah. But it's hard to know in that moment. If you don't think that. You just see a projectile move.
Yeah, it's reaction.
What, are you'd move too, Joe. You wouldn't be like,
it's reaction.
Would you sit there and just look at it come straight at you?
Because I know a screen's in front of me, yes.
But you don't think that during I know that, but I don't think that during the pitch.
It's different because the screen is there.
Apparently,
it's not like you're on a sideline and you see players running towards you and you're like, are they actually going to get?
Yeah, but I know
me?
It's there. But I might be talking to somebody about whatever.
No,
game.
this person was looking right at
it. No,
it.
but you're not thinking.
I hear you.
You're not thinking that.
Yeah.
Rich
Joe, Gannon,
just a tough guy, Joe over here. Just wouldn't flinch.
Rich Gannon, he gives his input on some of the play and players week to week, and he had great things to say about Jordan Love.
So impressed with what I saw from Jordan Love last night. In fact, I was doing some research this morning. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' first 40 starts as a Packer, and you look at Jordan Love's first 40 starts, they're very similar. Love's got 23 wins. Rodgers has 22 wins. Their average is about the same ratio of 71 touchdowns. Rodgers 70 touchdowns, 29 picks. and Jordan Love's got a higher QBR by, like 3 points. So, I mean, we're watching a young quarterback, Bruce, that is really, really playing well right now.
He is. He is really playing well, and it's reflective of how the team has been playing. They do have a tie on their record, but they're 5-1-1.
A 40-40 tie.
Awesome. Jacob Hester.
Oh my God! I used to work with him at SiriusXM.
Oh yeah, okay.
Great dude, awesome dude.
Yeah, we get his comments from time to time, but he feels like Texas A&M has had some of the most impressive wins in college football this season.
Texas A&M being down at halftime and coming out and suffocating LSU was one of the most impressive things I've seen this year, if not the most impressive thing. They were down 18-14 at halftime, and they came out and they put the foot down immediately. From the opening kickoff return, you got to almost midfield, and it was score, it was punt return for a touchdown, it was score again, and LSU's offense, outside of the last drive, where you put in your backup quarterback and he went down the field, I'm not counting that. LSU's offense had, I think, 14 yards in the second half after having some successful situations. Now, some of that goes to LSU's scheme, and that's why the offensive coordinator no longer has a job, but a lot of it had to do with Texas A&M. So they've got one of the most impressive wins in the country going on the road and beating Notre Dame. And they also just beat a ranked team in their house where the head coach coming into it was, I believe, 22-1 at night in that stadium, and now 22-2 on his way out. But Texas A&M, whatever they didn't have figured out for a long time, feels like they got it figured out. And I know Coach Jimbo Fisher, who joins us on Tuesdays, he's been talking about A&M all season long. And in 2020, they had a squad that I would have liked to seen in the playoff. But this looks different, and this looks championship level.
Texas A&M is looking really good right now.
Yeah, they did what we're seeing this year. They fired Jimbo for a very unreasonable number. And the ironic part is Jimbo was a flash hire, so what they do, they just went and hired a really good football coach. Mike Elko's been a good coach for a long time. And
that's usually what you get in defensive coaches, too. You get
he's just
more
good.
stability.
Yeah, he's just tough. He's hard-nosed. He knows what he's doing. The team is they'll make mistakes, but they're very organized, Joe. They recover from mistakes well. And I'll put it this way. I know Arkansas's defense is bad, but A&M had a quick 75-yard touchdown drive against Arkansas, 3 plays, I believe, the first drive of half number 2, I think. And that was that's a statement right there. They also, earlier in the game, had a 15-play, 75-yard drive.
Oh, yeah, they can play different ways.
And it's whatever the game kind of calls for, they're doing they were down. And then that game ended up being an embarrassment. But they were down 4 at half. They ended up they got a coach fired in that game. They were losing at halftime. Yeah, I think most books, and I like to see what Bet Saracen has, but most books aren't offering odds on them in the playoff because it's pretty much a lock now. I mean, at Notre Dame, at LSU, say what you want, but those are 2 impressive wins no matter what the year. And LSU might be bad, but still, those are 2 really good wins, and I think they're. I'm not sure of the best team in the country.
They're up there.
They're probably a touchdown on neutral field. Touchdown and that maybe 10 points worse than A&M than Ohio State.
Ohio State, but also Indiana.
Right. Them and Indiana will be a great game. I think Ohio State's probably 10 to 14 points better than both those teams, but they're making the case. I mean, their list, they've run off wins against Notre Dame on the road, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, at Arkansas, and LSU in a row. So
NBA last night, Giannis had a night as Bucks come away with the win over Knicks, 121-111.
Giannis just absolutely in takeover mode here, still spinning.
Accordion on him. He knew he was going to put him in the spin cycle, Jamal. And it's unbelievable because he knows where the help defense is. When you're a great player like that, you're not just beating the initial defense, you're beating everybody else.
Right at it. Oh, no.
I mean, it's almost not human. I mean, are you kidding me? 2 steps? Look at that.
he has gotten off to some start this season.
Yeah, he is. He's one
making
of
a
one
point.
of,
He's a little PO'd.
yeah, one of the best players in the league, and all the discussion about off-season talks about possibly playing for Knicks. He made a statement against them last night.
I think we saw Jokic kind of take that, after they win that title in 21, which I thought was a very impressive title, beating the Suns. So that was the way he played. Like that is legend stuff. The way he played, the way he closed it out. I think it was 50 in the last game, is what he had. Jokic kind of squarely took that crown from him. It's pretty cool to see him. And on this team, he's going to need to be that guy because they are not. This is not a who's the second best player in the Bucks? Miles Turner?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Miles Turner.
God love Miles Turner.
Oh, Miles Turner is
very good player.
He's good.
Do you want Miles Turner to be your second best player?
I think you can make it work though. But is that when you have a dominant player like Giannis, you can make it work.
I think he's making a point this year.
Oh, he should.
Yeah,
he's
amazing, but I feel like he's on a little bit of a mission this year.
Last night, or actually all day yesterday, Josh, NHL did Frozen Frenzy, and what that means is all 30 teams play, and they play 15 minutes apart. Each game starts 15 minutes apart.
Yeah.
So that was something that started during the day and went on till late night and had some really exciting games where Flyers, they beat Pittsburgh Pens in a shootout, and then also Chicago Blackhawks get a win last night, and Connor Bedard, who was number 1 overall pick 2 years ago, he went off. He had a hat trick. But let's start with Flyers Pens 3-2 shootout.
Michkov moving in with it. Bobby Brink against Seegers and Crosby in the locker room watching. Here is Bobby Brink. Brink moving in.
Nazar with the puck. Burakovsky switches with Teravainen on this top unit, so he's up there now with control. Across here, Bedard with a shot. He scores! What a shot by Connor Bedard! It's a power play goal, and it's 3-0 Hawks. Hawks with control. Chance to bring it out. Connor Bedard skates the puck in. Bedard with a shot. He scores! Connor Bedard! Coast to coast puts it in. Second of the night. Face off of the offensive zone for the Hawks. There's a shot. He scores a hat-trick goal for Connor Bedard. And here come the Hats.
Other news, we heard Vic Fangio talking about Cooper DeJean, one of Eagles' cornerbacks or defensive secondary players. He plays a number of different positions. They just acquired Michael Carter II in a trade, and they're getting a little deeper at the corner position.
Yep. Yeah, they're just they're doing some work, building that depth.
They traded him for receiver John Mechie III, who they sent to Jets.
He's been kicked around a little bit.
He has been, and his career, he started off where he was battling cancer, and then Texans were so deep last year where he couldn't even crack the lineup and was getting limited playing time. So yeah, he has moved around and he's looking for a spot where he can actually stick. Bet Saracen tonight, there are a couple of NBA games you want to look at. Magic Pistons. Magic are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Over under in that game, 227.5. And another one, Cavs, Celtics. Cavs are a road favorite. They're a 3.5-point favorite. Over under in that game is 234.5. So NBA games, we just played some NHL. There are NHL lines on Bet Saracen.
Conference USA football?
Yeah, anything you want, Bet Saracen has it. Tomorrow night's Thursday night NFL game, Ravens, 7.5-point favorite over Dolphins. Over-under in that game is 51. We're going to take a break here on Out of Bounds, come back, and wrap it up with the last segment. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Stay tuned.
Once again this year, the Buzz is proud to bring you College for Giant, the Meat People, and by Hennard Foothills Equipment in Searcy. Mark will be breaking down the week's biggest games, who will win, and why they'll win on Morning Mayhem. So So tune in every Thursday as Edwards Food Giant and Hennard Foothills Equipment present Mark May.
This is SportsCenter.
The Blue Jays evened up the World Series last night, beating the Dodgers 6-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went 2-4 with a home run off Shohei Ohtani in the second inning to give them a 2-1 lead. Toronto then used the sixth inning to add on to their lead, scoring 4 runs. Game 5 will be tonight at 7 on Fox. That game can be heard on The Buzz, joined in progress at 8:30. Last night in college football, Kennesaw State beat UTEP 33-20, while James Madison beat Texas State 52-20. Tonight, Middle Tennessee State will host Jacksonville State at 6:30 on ESPN2. Then Florida International will go to Missouri State at 7 on CBS Sports Network. And in the NFL, Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson became the second highest paid non-quarterback in league history by signing his 4-year, $180 million extension. It includes $140 million guaranteed. That is the most for a non-quarterback. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Is your AC down and it's got you upset? When you start to sweat, call Jet.
Jet Heat and Air, Central Arkansas's comfort team. Fast service, free estimates, and financing available. Family owned and Arkansas proud. Schedule today at jetacservice.com. That's jetacservice.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
At Edwards Food Giant, they know your family is important, and they also know that your time and convenience is as well. So why not take advantage of their heat and eat items in their deli department? Those famous Edwards Food Giant signature dishes with many of the same entrees and recipes that are served daily in the hot bar, all ready to take home and serve to your family tonight. And it can all be found at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is orange chicken for only $7.49 per pound, paired with vegetable fried rice for just $4.99 per pound.
It's November, so the days get shorter, the weather gets cooler, and that joint pain gets a little bit more aggravating as it's tougher to get loose. And as your favorite sports like pickleball, basketball, and tennis get pushed inside, make sure you're ready
for that indoor season with QC Kinetics. They're going to help you use pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. And here's the good news. If you sign up for QC Kinetics this month, every veteran who begins their treatment will get $500 off that treatment. And for every non-veteran, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. So there's truly no better time to get rolling with QC Kinetics. Set up that free consultation today at 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. Call QC Kinetics today.
David Basil for Luxury Pool and Spa. It's hot tub season, and Luxury Pool and Spa has Fantasy, Hot Spring, and Caldera hot tubs in stock on the showroom floor and ready for delivery. Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville also carry Serona Spa chemicals and frog systems, the same that I use in my hot tub. It's also that time of year for tailgating and watching the hogs outdoors. Luxury Pool and Spa carries Polywood Adirondack outdoor furniture for sitting around fire pits on those cool nights watching your favorite game. Check them out online, luxurypoolarkansas.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Leaves are falling, and so are prices at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. It's a fall festival of savings on select 2025 and 2026 models, including Silverados from $36,500. Drive the all-new Equinox for under $28,000, or lease a Track starting at $249 a month with $3,700 due at signing. Plus, pre-owned deals with available sales tax paid on select inventory. Visit GwatneyChevrolet.com or stop by 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. With approved credit. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, what's up? It's Kramer with Drive Time Sports. And Wednesday, you got Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer live at the Eat My Catfish studio. And they're bringing in the shooter, Pat Bradley. Thanks to Bet Saracen. Also from Bet Saracen, Neil Atkinson. We scoop and score with Kevin Bohannon. Hogsports.com's Trey Biddy. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Bart Reed. Thanks to Martin Orthopedics. NFL agent and guru Chris Turnage. And Richard Davenport from WholeHogSports.com. We'll see you Wednesday right here on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Joe Franklin, Josh Neighbors. Wes Moore enjoying some time off today. Wes will be back tomorrow. And D3 Auto Sales text line, we have a few responses that have come in.
Yes. Let's see the comment about the chip and the ball also that was made. Somebody asked Joe, and let's see if Joe can handle this question. I'm headed to the Hill for the game this weekend. My tickets are in Section 121, row 37.
Okay.
Will I be able to see the game, or will I need to watch on the Jumbotron or whatever it's called that's Staten Conway? How familiar are you, Joe, with Section 121, row 37?
Not familiar at all, but it sounds like that is a good section. And in that stadium, you can see the game from all angles. Yeah. So you shouldn't have a problem with seeing the game. It'll be good. But if you want to watch the Jumbotron, take a look at it at times.
Yeah. Theirs is pretty big.
Every
stadium is a big one now. Even the high school stadiums have Jumbotrons now at this point in time. Someone says, if not Petrino, why not Franklin? It sounds like there's a lot of heat between Franklin and Virginia Tech right now.
Really?
That's what Twitter's been saying today. I think Tech is putting a lot of money into the program also.
So what I would say is, if Virginia Tech, why not Arkansas? That's because what I would say to that.
It's a much harder job because the level of competition you play on a week-to-week basis is much harder.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely truth to that. And Virginia Tech has been shown that you can win there.
Yeah, like Arkansas is a job that will make you rich, but in modern times, you're gonna have to be the guy that elevates it to a place that you're gonna have to be like Drinkwitz was for Missouri. Like you're gonna have to be the guy who elevates. And that's gonna take you encouraging folks to give some major financial investment. Virginia Tech's already committed that money. They've made that commitment this offseason. I believe Bruce Arians was out publicly on Pat McAfee show, talking about it. But Virginia Tech has kind of relied on the reputation for a long time. The folks there who have the cash have said no more, and they're going to
and see, that's the point that Arkansas is right now, where you can't rely on the past either. You have to get with what's happening in today's game. So that's what makes me say, if Virginia Tech, why not Arkansas? Simply because the resources are there. They're just not tapping into those resources.
Yeah, that's totally true. We're not sure how good Arkansas could be, but the competition in the ACC is much easier. And I think
I agree.
Definitely. After Franklin was just fired for underperforming, like the much easier path to success is at an ACC school. And I'm not saying it's unique to Virginia Tech. That's any ACC school. Like it's a pretty. I mean, Florida State's up and down right now. Miami's really resurged, but Clemson's asking a lot of questions. We'll see how long Georgia Tech and Brent Key stay together.
I thought you were about to say something else. Clemson's, you said asking a lot of. I thought you were going to say Clemson is.
Yeah, well, they are. That's what they are right now at this point in time. But like, you think about like the hardest thing you have to do is to go road game to Cal, like road game to Stanford. But
you know what's going to increase the level of competition is hiring some good coaches. That's what's happening in all these leagues.
But those schools don't seem as committed on the whole as SEC schools do. Like SEC schools on the whole seem much more committed to hiring really good coaches. The ACC, there's a lot of schools, and I'm from ACC country. Wake Forest, Boston College. They can get good coaches, but they aren't making the commitment to the roster financially that other schools are making, and. Arkansas is a hard job, man.
There's no doubt.
Hard job because who your competition is.
Yeah, but I mean, for ACC purposes, it only takes a few. You mentioned Miami; they're already there.
Yeah, Louisville's up too.
Clemson can be there.
But like Virginia, one good year for Tony Elliott, they're already at the top. It doesn't take a whole lot to find yourself towards the top of the heap.
Right, and then Florida State, who knows what happens there? They don't look satisfied. But what I'm saying is, like with that, is if Florida State makes a change. They're trying to make a statement and bring in a coach that they feel is going to put them in a better spot. But also, if Vatek hires Franklin, that just boosts the conference as a whole.
That'd be a good hire. That'd be a really good hire for. I think he'd be a good hire here too. I think he'd be a really good hire for Arkansas.
Oh, he's going to be a good hire no matter.
He's a good coach.
Who the school is.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a job if he wants to coach this season. He's going to get a job somewhere. Yep. He's not just going to be relegated to an analyst role.
Yeah, and I think he's going to have some appetizing choices.
He will. Ooh, it's going to be interesting, though. College football, already 10 in-season firings for head coaches. Not done yet. Which is ridiculous.
10 more open spots, too, for other coaches to go. Once those jobs
it's going to be a domino effect, for sure. Josh, always good working with you, man.
Awesome, Joe. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love being on with you as always.
That's it for Out of Bounds. Stay tuned for Drive Time Sports coming up next.
Is your pain doctor double board certified and fellowship trained? Pain Treatment MD's is. Pain Treatment MD is Arkansas's most